A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. That fact is verified by an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research. The report from the consulting laboratory stated, based on our analytical findings, it is our opinion that Lucky Strike cigarettes are the mildest of the 6 major brands tested. And no wonder Lucky Strike cigarettes have been proved milder. For years, Lucky Strike has conducted a unique and vast program in research, in quality controls, and manufacturing methods. And today, tomorrow, always, LSMFT, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco with smoothness and mildness, and never a rough puff. So light up a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike.
From Palm Springs, California, the Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Palm Springs. And the star of our show is in this desert resort incognito. He put starch in his toupee so it would look like cactus. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking. And Don, hasn't it been exciting here in Palm Springs these last few days? Especially yesterday when everybody was dressed up in their Western outfits and they had that big parade down the main street. I felt so proud sitting up on that horse.
Well, Jack, I saw you in the parade, and there's one thing that puzzles me.
What was that, Don?
That was a beautiful Palomino you were riding, but why were you sitting on him backwards?
Backwards? Well, how do you like that? I lost my glasses, got on the horse, and nobody told me. Isn't that awful?
Well, that's ridiculous. Glasses or no glasses, anybody can tell when they're riding a horse backwards. Didn't you see the horse's tail?
That was his tail? I thought he had long eyelashes. Now, let's change the subject. The censor is a nervous wreck. Say, Don, where are you?
Hello, everybody. Hi, Don.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Well, if it isn't hop along backwards.
Nobody told me. Anyway, Mary, I was in the parade, and that's all that matters.
But, Jack, even your costume didn't make sense.
What are you talking about? I thought it was very clever. It was a Western motif with a subtle touch of Palm Springs.
Only you would give it that subtle touch.
What?
Who else would wear a 10-gallon hat, spurs, and a sunsuit?
Mary, for your information, I borrowed that sunsuit from the queen of the desert circus. She was just my size.
But, Jack, you're a man. You shouldn't have worn the trunks. Why did you wear the trunks?
Read that right. But, Jack,
oh, I'm sorry.
We'll never get off the air tonight.
But, Jack,
yeah?
You're a man.
Yeah?
You should have just worn the trunks. Why'd you wear the top?
Why'd I wear the top? I had to have some place to keep my gun. Anyway, the parade is over, so let's drop the subject.
Okay.
Say, Mary, where are you living?
Oh, I'm at the Bon Air Village.
The Bon Air? That's a very nice place.
Where are you staying, Don?
Well, I'm over at Deepwell Ranch.
Deepwell? Don, why didn't you tell me? That's right next to the Palm Springs Biltmore.
Oh, are you living at the Biltmore?
Me? Well... No. You see, Don, I have a place at the far end of Palm Canyon Drive. It's called the La Cantada de Casa La Quinta de Castile Cañada.
That's a very unusual name. La Cantada de Casa La Quinta de Castilla Cañada.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
That's Spanish, but don't wash your dishes in the swimming pool.
Don't wash your dishes in the swimming pool. Some joke. That one you got right. Mary, look at, why do you always...
Oh, Jack, don't get mad. Here, have a date.
You can keep your dates. That's all I've had since I got down here. Dates. That's all they sell here. No matter what kind of a store you go into, they sell dates.
You're not kidding. This morning I was walking down the street and saw a sign that said, Palm Springs Maternity Hospital and Date Shop.
Maternity Hospital and Date Shop?
Their slogan is cheaper by the dozen.
Well, it don't surprise me. The Chamber of Commerce is going to get you to take dates, even if they have
Okay, Jackson, stand aside. Here comes Harris, the nation's pride.
Phil.
Just a minute, Dad. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you'll excuse my appearance, but I've been swimming every day, and my hair is a mess.
Phil, you don't have to apologize for anything, because here in Palm Springs, you're supposed to let yourself go. Have you been relaxing?
I've been relaxing. Jackson, last night at 11:30, I was limp as a rag.
I know, Phil, I know. When I passed the Chi-Chi, they were trying to close the place, but your head was in the door. Then when you came out, you put a nickel in the parking meter and asked me if I'd like to dance.
Oh, is that you in the sunsuit?
Yes. What are you laughing at?
I gave your phone number to Remley.
Oh, fine.
Say, Phil, there sure's been a lot of excitement around here the last few days, hasn't there?
You said it, Livo. You know, this circus week is a big thing in Palm Springs. I read that people come here from all over the world.
All over the world?
Sure, it was in this morning's paper. I got the clipping right here. It says that during circus week there are people here from France, India, and Asia.
France, India, and Asia? Let me see that clipping. Oh, that's Fresno, Indio, and Azusa. Phil, when are you going to learn to read?
All right, Jackson, all right, so I made a little mistake. At least I don't ride a horse backwards.
Oh, you don't, eh? Well, what would you do if you lost your glasses?
I'd drink it right out of the bottle.
No. And that goes for all of you. Now, I don't want any more silly talk here.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Dennis. Dennis, it's about time you got here. Where have you been?
Oh, I was out in the hall trying to make a phone call, and the funniest thing happened.
What was it?
I put a nickel in the phone, couldn't get my party, and a date came back.
What?
How they got a buffalo on one side of it, I'll never know.
They have ways, Dennis, believe me. Now, look, kid, we have a long show to do, so let's have your song.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, did you see the parade yesterday?
Yes, I saw.
Oh, boy, what stunts and tricks.
I know. Let's have your song.
An old man was riding backwards.
Dennis, that man riding backwards was Mr. Benny.
Oh, sing, kid.
You better, brother.
Like a lovely June, beware my foolish heart.
that's hard to see on an evening such as this, for they both give the very same sensation when you're lost in the magic of a kiss. Her lips are much too close to mine. Beware my foolish heart. But should our eager lips combine, then let the fire start. For this time it isn't fascination or a dream that will fade and fall apart. It's love, this time it's love, my foolish heart. But should our eager lips combine, then let the fire start. For this time it isn't fascination or a dream that will fade and fall apart. It's love, this time it's love, my foolish heart.
That was Dennis Day singing My Foolish Heart from a picture of the same name. And now...
That's a silly title for a picture.
What?
Of the same name.
That's not the title. And now...
Oh, Jack,
What is it, Mary?
I've been meaning to tell you I bought a copy of Quick Magazine this morning, and there's a story in it about you.
Quick Magazine? In this week's issue?
Yes, Mr. Benny, and your picture's on the cover.
My picture, too? Gee. How do I look, Dennis?
Why don't you spend a dime and find out?
I'm going to buy one, Dennis, but I can't leave in the middle of a broadcast.
Oh, isn't it over yet?
No! And that reminds me, we're still waiting for Bob Hope. He's our guest star. I wonder where he can be.
Maybe he's playing golf.
I don't care what he's doing. He's supposed to be here. I'm going to send Rochester out to look for him. Oh, Rochester! Rochester!
You want me, Mr. Benny?
Yes, Rochester. Mr. Hope hasn't arrived yet. Will you go out and look for him?
I don't think I ought to leave now, boss.
Why not?
Well, I just finished making that lemonade like you told me to, and I'm waiting for the audience to come out.
Well, let that go for the time being, because...
Just a minute, Jack. Rochester, do you mean Mr. Benny is making you sell lemonade to the people after the show?
Yes, ma'am. I've got 50 gallons out there.
Well, that's a new one. Jack, how do you know they'll be thirsty?
Oh, Mr. Benny made sure of that when the people came in.
What'd he do?
He locked the door, shut the windows, started the show, and turned off the air conditioning.
Rochester.
And if that doesn't do it, on goes the heat.
Never mind that. Now, look, Rochester, Bob Hope hasn't shown up yet, and I'm worried about it. I want you to go out and see if you can find him.
Boss, that's a mighty big job. You know, Mr. Hope gets around awful fast.
Don't worry about that, Rochester. You can catch him.
I don't know. Mr. Paley couldn't catch him, and he's got better bait than I have.
All right. Go out and see if you can find him.
Okay, boss.
Say, Jack, I didn't know Bob was going to be with us today. How'd that happen?
Well, I told him I was going to be in Palm Springs. So, hey, maybe that's him now. Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Just a minute. Come in, Dobbin. That's Mr. Benny there, see?
Wait a minute. What's this?
This is the horse you rode in the parade. He didn't get to see you, Dan.
He really has got long eyelashes, hasn't he? Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
You know, radio's amazing. Radio is really amazing. A horse knows enough to show up on time, but not Hope. Well, as long as he isn't here yet, Don, we might as well do the commercial. Where's the Sportsman Quartet?
Well, Jack, don't you remember? Back in Hollywood, you had a discussion with them about their expenses.
Oh, yes, they won't be here. Now, now what are we going to do, Don?
Well, Jack, you're very fortunate. You've heard the Guadalajara Trio at the Dollhouse, haven't you?
The Guadalajara Trio? Yes.
Well, through an interpreter, they agreed to come over and sing on the program today.
Through an interpreter?
Yes, you see, the boys don't speak a word of English.
Oh, well, how are they going to do the commercial?
Well, I showed them a package of Lucky Strikes, which they smoke too, and they know exactly what I want.
Well, good. Are the boys here?
Yeah. Come on in, fellas. Fellas, this is Senor Jack Benny.
Buenos días, señor.
Merci beaucoup. Now, Don, what song have they prepared? Oh, excuse me a minute. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester.
Oh, have you found Mr. Hope yet?
No, but I've got a line on him. When he left your rehearsal, he went to the golf course and played 2.5 holes of golf.
2.5 holes?
Yeah, a crowd gathered on the third fairway, and he did a personal appearance.
Oh, well, did Mr. Hope leave the golf course then?
Yeah, from there he went to the dunes for something to eat. Then he stopped at the income tax office, and then he went...
Wait a minute, Roger. The income tax office is closed on Sunday.
For him, they keep it open.
Oh, yes. Well, keep looking, Rochester. You gotta find them.
Okay.
All right, Don, let's have the Guadalajara Trio. What number are they going to sing?
Quizá, quizá, quizá.
Good. Take it, boys. Dennis, you speak Spanish, don't you?
Oh, sí, señor.
Well, well, tell them to start their song.
Señores, comiencen la cantata, por favor.
Thank you.
Siempre que te pregunto que cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes, quizá.
Don, I don't hear any commercial yet.
Y así pasan los días y yo desesperando, y tú sos mocalaqui, tanto y estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando, y te MST por mí, sí.
Very good, fellas, very good.
Y así pasan los días.
I don't understand at all.
Y yo desesperando, y tú sos mocalaqui, tanto persistir. Y estás perdiendo el tiempo pensando. You'll never find a rapa, no rapa en la aquí. Y así pasan los días y yo desesperando, y tú sos mocalaqui, tanto persistir.
Quizá, sung by the Guadalajara Trio, and very good, boys. Dennis, tell them they were very good.
Muy bien, señores.
And thanks for appearing on our program, boys. It was really a pleasure listening to you.
Él nos dijo que viniéramos. ¿Será bueno pedir el dinero ahorita?
Él no paga nada, nunca tuvo intenciones.
Oh, no sean tontos. Si ustedes creen que nos van a pagar, están locos.
What did they say, Dennis?
One guy said they were going to be paid for singing here tonight, and the other two said he was crazy.
Look, I'll pay him. Tell him I'll see him tomorrow.
He'll see you tomorrow, fellas.
Tell him in Spanish. I can tell him in English. Anyway, boys, you were swell. Swell, really. I can't understand Bob Hope. The program is half over. Boys, I said you were swell. I'll see you tomorrow. Adios. Mañana. I told Bob 1,000 times we go on at 4 o'clock. The horse I only had to tell once. You'd think that... Hello?
Hello, boss. This is Rochester again.
How are you doing? You found Mr. Hope yet?
No, boss, and I've looked all over it. That's him, boss. That's Mr. Hope. He just went by.
Well, good. Maybe you can... What was that?
His car is trying to catch up with him.
Gee.
I think you're in luck, boss. He's headed in your direction.
Well, I hope he can make it. Hi, Jack. I'm sorry I'm late. Well, Bob, I'm glad you finally...
Please, I'll take it. Thank you. How do you do? How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is Bob Palm Springs Cowboy Hope saying I've been out horseback riding on the desert where the colors turn every hue. In front, orange, pink, and gold, and in the rear, black and blue. This is Western Week, and I went on one of those sunrise breakfast rides this morning. You know what a breakfast ride is? That's where everybody gets up at dawn and picks a horse to sleep on. Now, Bob, please, no autographs. They gave me a nice horse today with so swayback. They call him Hudson. You have to step down onto him. We left 6 footprints as we went along. What a horse. When he got tired of running, he just pulled up his legs and rocked. John, Bob, closer to the mic.
Look, Bob, we have stuff here together.
I have no time for you. But the weather...
Bob, don't ad-lib. You're getting 5 cents a word.
Mary didn't. I'm a guest, please. I got more here, you know, but the weather is wonderful here. The afternoons are so warm you can get a bad case of sunburn just holding home enough fuel oil to get through the night. Strange lettering. Say, listening, and this sun makes you so lazy the rattlesnakes don't even rattle. They just reach over and turn on a Cougat record. Yes, they have a nice wind that comes up here every so often. Nice wind. I don't even know why Sinatra bought a house here. He spends most of his time walking back from Indio.
This is my program.
For the tailor, please. Frankie has to be careful of the sun. The other day he got a freckle on his chest and 3 ribs caved in. And they're so proud of the healthy climate down here. If someone dies, they don't bury him. They just prop him up in the Chi-Chi bar and people think he's waiting for his 3rd zombie. Bob. Oh, are you still here?
Of course I'm here. This is my program.
Really? Which one are you, Lum or Abner?
Now, just a minute. Look, Bob, I've been waiting.
Oh, hello, Don.
Well, hello, Bob. It's good to see you again.
Say, good to see you, too. Say, Don, I saw you in the parade yesterday.
Me in the parade?
Yeah, wasn't someone riding you backwards?
Bob, that was a Palomino. I was riding him backwards.
Palomino?
Yeah, that's a horse of another color.
Hey, how was that, Bob? Fine, Lum. How do you do, ladies?
Now, wait a minute. Why don't you...
Hello, Bob.
Hello, Mary.
Say, I heard you did wonderful business at the Paramount Theater in New York.
Yeah, it was great, Mary. And after that, I made personal appearances in Syracuse, Cincinnati, Owensboro, Kentucky, St. Louis, Kansas City, and Denver.
Really?
And I'm also scheduled to appear in Minneapolis, New York, Boston, and Salt Lake City.
Well, gee, Bob, when do you expect to be home?
I'm booked there Christmas week.
Look, Bob.
Oh, have you something to say, cover boy? Cover boy? Yeah, I saw your picture on Quack.
Bob, that's Quick, not Quack.
You look like Donald Duck.
Oh, thank you, Abner. Now, as long as you're here...
Can I play golf with you and your friends again tomorrow?
Yeah, kid. You can play with us anytime you want to.
Dennis, you play golf?
Uh-huh. And Mr. Hope says I'm playing better all the time. Yesterday he let me carry 2 bags.
But, Dennis, you're not carrying...
Jack, he's happy. Let him alone.
Okay, say, Bob, how about you and I having a game of golf tomorrow?
Oh, fine, Jack. The usual wager?
Yeah, that makes a nice, interesting bet.
What do you usually play for?
A right or a hole.
And I'll tell you what, Bob, I'll get George Burns and Al Jolson. We'll have a foursome.
Well, look, can't you get someone else instead of Jolson? He and I don't play golf together anymore.
Why? What happened?
Well, look, Jack. Would you play golf with a man who whistles when you tee off, kicks the ball to improve his lie, and cheats on the score?
No, I certainly wouldn't.
Well, neither will Jolson.
You see, when you stick to the script, it isn't bad either. Well, in that case, Bob, I don't blame you. Now, who's that? Hello? What? Portland, Oregon, calling Bob Hope? Bob, it's for you.
Holy smoke, no wonder they're calling. Look what time it is.
Huh?
Well, it's 4:27. I have to be in Portland by 4:45.
4:45? Well, Bob, that's ridiculous. You can't make it.
Oh, yes, I can. Come in.
Mr. Hope?
Yes?
Your flying saucer's ready. I'll be right there. So long, Mary. But Bob!
So long, Lum.
That. Not only is he late getting here, but when he does show up, he doesn't stay long
Que
enough.
nos pague para irnos. Le dije que no nos iba a pagar nada. ¿Qué se puede esperar de un hombre como Jack Benny?
Now, wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I told you I'd take care of you tomorrow. Mañana. Please, fellas, mañana.
Lam says mañana.
Oh, quiet! Come on, Mary. Let's rush over to the maternity hospital. I want to get some dates.
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. That fact is verified by an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research. The report from the consulting laboratory stated,
based on our analytical findings, it is our opinion that Lucky Strike cigarettes are the mildest of the 6 major brands tested.
LSMFT. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. That's why with every Lucky, you get the rich taste of fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Yes, smoothness and mildness with never a rough puff. Just listen to the words of Mr. Dan Curran. For 26 years, an independent tobacco warehouseman from Oxford, North Carolina. Recently, he said,
as far back as I can recollect, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy fine tobacco that sure is shooting to smoke fine. I've been a Lucky Strike smoker myself for 20 years.
So, smoke a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarette. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Bob Hope for this brief encounter. He will soon be seen in his new Paramount picture called Fancy Pants from the sunsuit of the same name. You can open the door now, Rochester.
Lemonade, get your ice-cold lemonade here. 20 cents a glass. Ice-cold lemonade.
Rochester, stop that horse from drinking out of the bowl. Come on, Mary.
Que nos pague para irnos.
Boys, I told you mañana. Here, have a glass of lemonade.
Ladies and gentlemen, hundreds of thousands of boys live in crowded neighborhoods and unattractive homes in our cities and towns. Their free time is spent on the streets. These boys need a chance to overcome their handicap, and boys' clubs provide them with such an opportunity. So please support your local boys' clubs. Remember, an investment in boys is an investment in America's future. Thank you. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The
Jack Benny program, presented by Lucky Strike. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. That fact is verified by an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research. The report from the consulting laboratory stated, based on our analytical findings, it is our opinion that Lucky Strike cigarettes are the mildest of the 6 major brands tested. And no wonder Lucky Strike cigarettes have been proved milder. For years, Lucky Strike has conducted a unique and vast program in research, in quality controls and manufacturing methods. And today, tomorrow, always. LSMFT. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco with smoothness and mildness and never a rough puff. So light up a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike.
California, the Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Yes, here we are spending our second week in Palm Springs. So let's go out and visit the place where Jack Benny is staying. The Cantata de Casa La Quinta de Castil Cañada. At the moment, our little star is drinking in the rays of the morning sun, while Rochester is rubbing him with oil.
Now, what a wonderful day for a sunbath, eh, Rochester?
It sure is. Turn over, boss. I want to get some oil on your back.
Okay. Be careful you don't get any on my trunks. Ah, this is the life. Oh, Rochester.
What is it, boss?
Nothing. Rochester.
Yes?
Oh, never mind.
Come on, boss. What is it?
I'm really built, ain't I?
If you say so, sir.
Well, I guess I'm greased up enough. I think I'll just lie out here on the sun deck.
Boss.
You know, it isn't every place where you can step out of your room and get right up on the sun deck.
Boss.
Yes?
This thing you're lying on is a ping pong table.
It isn't a sun deck?
No, why do you think they have that net across the middle?
I thought the other side was for women. I've been peeking through the holes for nothing, eh? Oh, look, Rochester, here comes Miss Livingston.
Oh, yes. Hello, Miss Livingston.
Hello, Rochester. Hi, Jack.
Hello, Mary. I'm glad you dropped over.
So this is the Cantata de Casa La Quinta de Castilla Cañada.
Mary, you don't have to say it like that. This is a very nice place. You know, I'm paying $3 a day for my room.
$3?
Well, Mary, I felt the same way, but then this is the height of the season. Anyway, it's worth it. You know, this place overlooks the beautiful Palm Springs Biltmore.
Well, Jack, you're very smart.
Thank you.
That's better than paying Biltmore prices and overlook the dump you're living in.
What do you mean, dump? Come on in. I'll show you my room. Come on in, Mary.
Jack, I can't see a thing. It's so dark in here.
Well, they finally fixed that hole in the roof. Rochester, get a match and light the lamp.
Yes, sir.
That's better. You see, Mary, this room is nice and large.
Wait a minute. What's this lawnmower, wheelbarrow, rake, and garden hose doing in the corner?
Well, you see, Mary, the rate on this room is really $4, but they don't have a tool shed. You see? And they said they would make an adjustment if I let them keep their garden tools in here.
Well, at least they keep you well supplied with towels.
This is the laundry room, too.
Rochester, nobody asked you. Come in.
Oh, pardon me. I didn't know you had company. I just want to get the lawnmower.
Oh, it's right there in the corner, Ed.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Rochester, what are you doing?
I count my toes every time he leaves.
Well, I don't blame you. Jack, of all the places in Palm Springs, you had to get stuck
Mary, forget it. I didn't get stuck with anything. This is a very nice...
Hey, Benny, there's a telephone call for you.
Okay. Excuse me, Mary. I'll be back in a minute. The phone is just down the hall. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. In the Nickelodeon, all I want is loving you and money, money, money. Dum-dum-dum. Oh, here's the phone. Hello?
Is this Jack Benny?
Yes.
One moment, please. We have a person-to-person call from Los Angeles. Go ahead.
Hiya, Jackson. Phil, I thought you were in Palm Springs. What are you doing in Los Angeles?
Well, I was in Palm Springs, but I had to hurry back home when I found out I forgot something.
Oh, what'd you forget?
Alice?
Alice, Phil, how in the world could you forget her?
Well, the day we were supposed to drive down to the Springs, I was a little careless. I wasn't watching.
What do you mean?
Well, I was sitting in the car after she put the luggage in.
Yeah?
And I thought she got in, too.
Well, tell me, Phil, when did you first realize you'd forgotten Alice?
Well, as soon as I got to Palm Springs, I went to the Racket Club, had dinner, and when the waiter handed me the check, I knew she was missing. And Jackson, let me tell you something. When I got home, she was furious.
What did she do?
She was so mad at me, she put Rudy Valley's picture back on the piano.
Well, I don't blame her.
The one with the megaphone, yes.
Well, look, Phil, I hope you'll be back in time for rehearsal. You see, we're having Al Jolson on the program this week, and your orchestra will have to accompany him.
Oh, sure, we got it. What do you think Jolie will sing?
Whatever he sings, Phil, I don't want the accompaniment to sound like That's What I Like About the South.
All right, now, wait a minute, Jackson. Why don't you stop picking on my tune?
Because I'm sick of it, and I'm not the only one. Every time you and your boys sing it, Frankie Remley just sits there with his mouth shut.
Look, Dad, if you left the South under the same conditions Remley did, you wouldn't sing about it either.
You mean?
Yep, Frankie had more feathers on him than the wild goose.
No kidding.
Well, Jackson, I can't make you laugh any longer. Alice has got the car packed again. From now on out, you sweat it out, huh? Yeah. Alice has got the car all packed again, so we're going back.
Okay.
Goodbye. Goodbye, folks. So long.
That Phil is an amazing guy. 14 years ago, no one ever heard of him. Then he wrote one song, That's What I Like About the South, and overnight he made millions of enemies. Mary, Mary, where are you?
Right here in front of you.
Oh, yes. When you come in out of the light here, it's hard to see. That was Phil on the phone.
Phil, what do you want?
I don't know. I forgot to ask him.
Say, Jack, it's so nice out. Why don't we go for a swim in the pool?
In the pool?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mary, but the Cantata di Casa La Quinta di Castil Cañada doesn't have a swimming pool.
No swimming pool?
No, but they have something just as good. See, when the temperature reaches 102, a bellboy comes around with a water pistol and lets you have it. It's very refreshing, especially when they use ice cold. Come in. Oh, it's you, Ed.
Yeah, I hate to keep disturbing you while you got company, but I finished mowing the lawn. Now I came in to get a sack of fertilizer.
A sack of fertilizer? Where?
You're sitting on it.
What?
Thanks, lady. You won't have to stand long. I'll bring it back soon.
Jack, I'm not going to ask you how you can live in this room, but let's go outside.
Okay. You know, Mary, I wish we did.
Oh, Jack, here comes the bellboy.
Where?
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
It's 102.
You see, Mary, it's very refreshing.
I wouldn't know. I ducked.
Would you like a towel, Mr. Benny?
Yes, thank you.
Hey, Jack, isn't that Don hacking his way through the sagebrush?
Dan? Yeah. Where?
In the lobby.
Oh, yeah. Don, we're out here.
Oh, hello, Jack. Hello, Mary.
Hiya, Don.
Jack, this is the craziest place I've ever seen. As I came in the lobby, some screwball was trying to shoot the goldfish.
Goldfish? No, Don. He was just filling his gun. I'll explain it to you later. Well, I see you've got the Sportsman Quartet with you. Hello, fellas.
And, Jack, I want you to meet a young lady who's appearing here in Palm Springs at the Dunes, Miss Connie Barlow.
Yes, I know her. Hello, Connie.
Hello, Jack.
Connie, Mary and I heard you singing at the Dunes Cafe the other night, and we thought you were wonderful.
Yes, Connie, but during your number, we had a difficult time hearing with all the dishes rattling.
Oh, were you near the kitchen?
We were in the kitchen. Jack forgot his wallet.
Well, that could happen. A lot of people leave their wallets in their rooms.
Jack left his in Waukegan.
Waukegan. You're just mad because you washed more dishes than I did.
Well, say, Jack, the reason I asked Miss Barlow to come over was because I thought it would be nice if she did a number with the quartet.
Well, good. What number have they got prepared?
Well, last week, Frank Lesser's song, Baby It's Cold Outside, won the Academy Award, and we thought it would be a nice touch if they'd sing it while we're here in Palm Springs.
Baby, it's cold outside? Well, Don, how can you sing it's cold outside when we're in Palm Springs? The weather's so beautiful. I mean, the sun shines all day. It doesn't make sense.
Well, Jack, we thought of that, so we changed the lyrics to fit the location.
Oh, well, good, Connie. I'd love to hear it.
I really can't
but
stay.
Baby, it's hot outside.
I've gotta go away.
Baby, it's hot outside.
This evening has
hoping that you
been
drop
so
in.
very nice.
We'll have some lemonade with ice.
Mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your
And Father
hurry?
will be pacing the floor.
It's too hot outside of that
So
door.
really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't
Well,
hurry.
maybe just a cigarette more.
Smoke the lucky, that's what they're for.
I've gotta go
The
home.
sight of a lucky strike.
Say, lend me a
A cigarette
call.
you will like.
They really are
It's always your
grand,
favorite
but
friend.
don't you see?
Just one more LSMS.
But darling, I must be going.
Look at the smoke ring.
At least I'm gonna say that I
You
tried.
can smoke the lucky with
I
pride.
really can't
Oh, baby, you roast out.
It's warm as
toast outside.
I simply must go.
Baby, a lucky strike.
I hate to, you
The
know.
time that you always like.
I'll leave with regret,
wonderful cigarette.
and that's a fact.
So round, so firm, so fully
But
packed.
darling, if you get
That's why
lonesome,
we will always
remember all those luckies by your
What's the sense of
side.
hurting our
You know what I like.
Let's smoke a lucky
Very good, Don. That was really very good. And Connie, you did an excellent job in changing the lyrics. I mean, it does get warm out here.
It sure does. Right now, I'll bet it's 95 in the shade.
95. I'll bet it's 100.
You're both wrong.
What?
It's 102. Here's your towel, Mr. Benny.
Thank you.
Would you like another shot?
No. No, not right now. Maybe later.
Ooh, here comes another guest. Yoo, it's 102.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Bellboy, that isn't a guess. That was Dennis Day. Dennis, speak to me.
Wait till I get this goldfish out of my mouth.
Here, Dennis, here's my towel.
Thanks.
Say, I haven't seen you all week, kid. What have you been doing?
Oh, a lot of things. At 5 o'clock this morning, all the people at my hotel got on horses and we rode way out in the desert for a breakfast ride.
A breakfast ride? Oh, that must have been a lot of fun.
Some fun. All I had to eat was cactus.
Cactus?
I got lost.
Imagine eating cactus.
It tastes awful, but you don't need any toothpicks.
I never thought of that.
Oh, Jack, here come the fellows who were on your program last week, the Guadalajara Trio.
I wonder what they want here.
Que nos pague para irnos.
No nos vamos a casa hasta que nos paguen.
Dennis, you understand. And what do they say?
Oh, he says they want to be paid for last week.
I don't know a word of Spanish, and I could have told you that.
Mary, please.
Hemos esperado toda la semana y necesitamos dinero para mantener las familias y los chilpayates.
Look, fellas, mañana. I told you I'd pay you mañana. Now, why don't you go home?
Es todo lo que hemos oído toda la semana. Queremos nuestro dinero y no nos vamos hasta que no lo dé.
Now, stop raising all this fuss. I told you I'd pay you pronto. Pronto.
Jack, pronto means now.
Oh. Fellas, mañana. Mañana. Now, go home and adios.
Ese señor Benny apesta.
Wait till the laugh is over. Wait a minute. What did you say? What?
Ese señor Benny apesta.
Sí, como un zorrillo. Eso no es nada, como zorrillo y marrano.
What did they say, Dennis?
They said they'd like to get their hands on the guy who said this was the land of opportunity.
Now, fellas, look, will you go away and leave me alone? I'll take care of you mañana. I've heard enough.
Jackson, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Well, Al Jones...
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Al.
Hello, Dennis. Hello, Asa.
Say, Al, I know you're going to be on my program, but what brings you over here today?
Well, Jack, I thought we ought to get some things settled first.
Oh, you mean about the songs you're going to sing?
No, about the money you're going to pay.
Huh?
You heard me, Jack. Money.
Mañana. Fellas, be quiet. Adios. Let's find out what that means. Now, look, Al, don't you think it's a little undignified? Look, you haven't even been on my program yet, and here you are asking me for money.
Jack, look,
What?
I don't mean this program. I mean the time I appeared on your show 2 years ago, you remember?
2 years ago?
That's the longest mañana I've ever seen.
All right. Now, Al, as long as you're going to be on my program Sunday, tell me what numbers you're going to sing so that I'll be able to...
Wait a minute, will you?
What?
And that's the reason I came over here. I'm willing to be on your show, but I'm not going to sing.
Why not?
Well, I've taken enough ridicule. Especially from the guy on your show, that fella Mel Blanc.
What do you mean, Al?
Look, Jack, I don't mind people doing jokes about my age or my picture, the Larry Park. I don't mind people imitating me. But this fella Mel Blanc keeps inferring that when I'm singing a song, I keep going, yeah.
But, Al, let's face it, you do, don't you?
Well, for me, Jolson, that's singing.
But, Al, I saw your picture. Jolson sings again, and when you sang, you went, at least 20 times.
Did you see the picture after dinner?
Yes.
I had indigestion.
Oh, well, that could happen to anybody. Anyway, Al, I'm sure you know what you're talking about, so I apologize for anything Mel Blanc did. It won't happen again.
Good.
Now, if you'll just step into my room, we'll discuss the songs you're going to do on the program.
Okay, Jack. Holy smoke, what a room. It looks like a cave.
Well, Al...
Well, I can understand a man wanting to rough it. What do you do when the bear comes home?
What?
It has twin beds.
Oh, stop. Now, Al, look at Al. What do you think you'll do for your first song?
Well, Jack, I've got a brand new number that I really think you're going to like it. It's called Remember Mother's Day.
Remember Mother's Day? But, Al, Mother's Day isn't until next month. This is April. Why don't you sing April Showers?
April Showers? How does it go?
How does it go?
Yeah, how does it go?
Oh, Aunt April. Oh, don't be funny. How does it go?
Jack, look, even though Mother's Day isn't next month, I just made a recording of it, and really I'd like to sing it. After all, I am a mammy singer.
Okay, Al, if you're that sentimental, go ahead.
There are many Sundays in the year, but the best one comes in May. And though it's true, there are 52, there's none like Mother's Day. Send her a bunch of roses, Mom loves roses, make it an extra large bouquet. Send her a bunch of roses, red, red roses, remember Mother's Day. Why don't you write a letter, or still better, hop on a train without delay? Maybe a few caresses best expresses love on Mother's Day. And if you're too far away to be there on that day, call her up, she'll be home. When she answers the ring, you'll be proud as a king with a queen on the phone. Follow it up with roses, Mom loves roses, then to make everything okay, send her a million kisses, sweet kisses. Remember Mother's Day.
Al, that was delightful. Really, really great.
Oh, it was wonderful, Al. Thrilling. Wasn't it, Dennis?
That's singing.
Dennis. Don't listen to him, Al. It was swell.
Oh, thanks, Jack, thanks. And I hope you noticed that not once in the whole song did I go, meow.
I know, Al, and again I apologize. Al, did you bring the musical arrangements for the songs you're going to do on the show?
Yes, I did, Jack, but I only brought enough for 16 encores.
16 encores?
Yeah, we may have a cold audience.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure that I'll get it.
Hey, Mr. Benny.
Yes?
It's 102.
Oh.
We're out of water.
What?
Would you like a towel or a cookie?
Neither, and get out of here. Now, Al, getting back to my program, what are you going to do for your second number?
Well, how about one of my old ones? You know, like, well, let me see. Oh, yeah. Toot, toot, tootsie, goodbye.
You couldn't even remember.
Yesterday I heard a lover sigh. Goodbye, oh, your my. 7 times he got aboard his train. And 7 times he heard back to kiss it love again and tell her, tootsie, goodbye. Tootsie, don't cry. The choo-choo train that takes me away from you. No one can tell how sad it makes me. Kiss me to the end, then do it over again. Once for the mail, I'll never fail. If you don't get a letter, then you'll know I'm in jail. Don't cry, Tootie, don't cry. Goodbye, Tootsie, goodbye. Kiss me to the end, then do it
Mary, he did it!
I'm going again.
Mary.
I never fail.
Listen to me.
he doing?
You don't get a letter.
You don't know it.
I don't know I can get him. Yeah.
Wait, let me get it again.
Goodbye.
Yeah. I told you.
Goodbye.
I did what? All through the number. You kept going. Come in.
Jack, it's a bear.
A bear?
How do you like that? I thought I made up a joke.
Turn down the other
Ladies and gentlemen, carelessness is the greatest single cause of forest fires. Fires that destroy approximately 30 million acres of timberland yearly. And most of these fires started because someone was careless with a lighted match, a campfire, a burning cigarette. Be on guard constantly against fire. Be careful, be cautious, prevent fires. Thank you. Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. That fact is verified by an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research. The report from the consulting laboratory stated, based on our analytical findings, it is our opinion that Lucky Strike cigarettes are the mildest of the 6 major brands tested. LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. That's why with every Lucky, you get the rich taste of fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Yes, smoothness and mildness with never a rough puff. Just listen to the words of Mr. Edward M. Rogers, for 10 years an independent tobacco auctioneer from Reidsville, North Carolina. Recently he said,
I know fine tobacco, and year after year, at auction after auction, I've seen American buy good, ripe, smooth leaf, the kind of tobacco that's hard to beat for smoking quality. I smoke Lucky's myself. Been a Lucky fan 12 years.
So, smoke a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For smoothness and mildness, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Al Jolson for dropping by today. And next Sunday, we'll be broadcasting from Hollywood.
Hey, Mr. Benny.
What is it, Dennis?
The cactus I had for breakfast this morning wasn't very nourishing. I'm hungry. Have you got anything to eat?
Something to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Here, kid, have a banana.
No, pronto.
I said banana, not mañana. Now go home.
Be sure to hear Dennis Day and the day in the life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned for the Amos Sandy Show, which follows immediately. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Jack Benny program, presented by Lucky Strike. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Yes, scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Confirming these scientific tests, an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research reports Lucky Strike, mildest of 6 major brands tested. And no wonder Lucky Strike cigarettes have been proved milder. For years, Lucky Strike has conducted a unique and vast program in research, in quality controls, and manufacturing methods. And today, tomorrow, always. LSMFT. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco that gives you smoothness and mildness and never a rough puff. So light up a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For the rich taste of fine tobacco, for smoothness and mildness, remember, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, on the corner of CBS Square, there's a small drugstore which is frequently visited by radio personalities. At the moment, Mervyn, the soda jerker, is talking to Flossie, the new waitress.
Take it easy, Flossie. Don't be so nervous.
I can't help it, Mervyn. After all, this is my first day as a waitress.
It's nothing to worry about. What did you used to do?
I was in the movies.
You? You was in the movies?
Yeah. I was head popcorn popper at the Pantages.
Well, why did you quit?
My boyfriend got tired of kissing my salty fingers. Gee, I hope I make good at this job.
Oh, don't worry. You'll do all right. Uh-oh. Get ready for business. Here comes Jack Benny and some of his cast.
Oh, gee, celebrities. Who are they?
Dennis Day, Don Wilson, Phil Harris, and Jack Benny. See, they're starting to cross the street.
Oh, yeah. Which one is Jack Benny?
The one that looks like he won't make it. Hey, you better set a table for him.
Okay, Mervyn. Give me 4 glasses of water.
You'll only need 3. One of them never touches the stuff. Come on, you better get busy, Flossie.
Now, come on, fellas. There are plenty of tables.
Let's sit over by the window.
Okay, by me.
Hiya, Mervyn.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Phil, why do you always make him do that?
Well, it only costs me $1 a month, and if my sponsor comes in, he'll be impressed.
Why?
Because this is a thrifty drugstore.
Oh. Well, let's sit down, fellas.
Your orders, please.
Get some new talent here.
Your orders, please, gentlemen.
I'll take a ham sandwich on rye and a cup of coffee.
Yes, sir.
I'll have the same.
Yes, sir.
And I'll have a glass of milk and some apple pie a la mode.
Yes, sir. What flavor ice cream do you want on your pie?
Oh, no ice cream. Just put on a scoop of mashed potatoes.
Dennis, why in the world do you order pie with a scoop of mashed potatoes?
Because I'm a slow eater.
What's that got to do with it?
Ice cream melts.
Well, I asked him. He answered me. Now I'm too sick to eat.
What do you have, sir?
Well, I'll have a shrimp cocktail, some clam chowder, a porterhouse steak, hearts of lettuce with Thousand Island dressing, some green peas, French fried potatoes, a piece of chocolate layer cake, and a cup of coffee. Can you remember that?
I hope I can carry it.
That'll be all, miss.
Thank you. I'll be right back with your orders, gentlemen.
Hey, fellas, Say, she's a kind of cute-looking girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Huh?
Nice personality. Beautiful red hair, sunny smile, trim ankles, cute little figure, and...
Phil, remember, you're married.
I know, but I can still take inventory, can I?
Yes. Hey, Dennis, what are you looking at?
There's lipstick on my glass.
Lipstick? Well, I'll call the waitress and tell her...
Oh, no. This is exciting.
Dan, what's exciting about lipstick on a glass?
It's spring, Dad. Spring.
Oh, be quiet.
Oh, say, Jack, there's a new record here in the jukebox called Dearie. It's sung by Dennis.
By me? Oh, boy, I'm going over and play it.
All right, go.
Nobody touch my glass.
We won't. Play the record, will you?
Dearie, do you remember when we waltzed to the Sousa band? My, wasn't the music ran? Charter parties down by the seashore. Every 4th of July, test your memory, my dearie. Do you recall when Henry Ford couldn't even fix a running board under a Chandler sink? Dearie, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Dearie, do you remember when most gents owned a Sparrow hat, wing collars and derby hats? Lovely ladies swinging their bustles made those gentlemen sigh. Test your memory, my dearie. Do you remember watching John Elwyn every fight? 'Cause nobody ducked from Sullivan's right. Dearie, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Jackie, do you remember leaving Waukegan, Illinois? Gosh, weren't you just a boy? That was long before Love in Bloom and maybe Brahms' Lullaby. Test your memory, my Jackie. Can you remember when your bankroll was very scant, when you played a lady in Charlie's Aunt? Jackie, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Do you remember? If you remember, well, Jackie, you're much older than I.
I'm 39.
You're much older than I.
Will you gentlemen have anything else?
No, not me. I've had enough.
I'll bring you a check in a minute.
Hey, say, Phil, how about coming over to my house for a little gin rummy?
Well, I'd like to, Jackson, but I got to go home and wash Alice's hair.
Phil, you wash Alice's hair?
I used to be on for fish. I got to use that stuff up some way.
What?
Slip yours off. I'll wash that, too.
Never mind. Say, Don, how about you coming over to my house?
Well, I wish I could, Jack, but I've got to go back to the studio and make some spot announcements.
Oh. Say, Dennis, would you like to come over to the house, play a little gin rummy with me?
No.
Why not?
You cheat.
I cheat?
I've been watching you. When you play, you deal off the top of the deck.
What?
The man I played with on the train always dealt off the bottom.
For heaven's sake, kid, when will you learn?
Here's your check, gentlemen.
Oh, I'll take it.
Good. Well, fellas, I'm going home.
Mr. Benny, do you want me to drive you?
No, thanks, kid. It's such a nice evening, I think I'll walk. So long, boys.
So long, Jack.
Gee, the weather's balmy. Spring is the nicest time of the year. Trees are green, flowers are in bloom. Makes a fella feel good. Toot-toot-tootsie, goodbye. Tootsie. Where does Jolson get off saying he doesn't go, yeah? Da-da-da-dum, bum-bum-bum.
Excuse me, mister.
Huh?
Could you spare a dime for a cup of coffee?
A dime? Well, let's see. I haven't got a dime. The smallest I have is half a dollar.
I haven't eaten since yesterday.
Well, look, buddy, here, take the half a dollar.
Gee, mister, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Jump down, tootsie, goodbye. Yum, bum, beam, bum, bum, bum. Gee, that was nice of me. He only asked me for a dime, and I gave him a half a dollar. I wonder if it's deductible. What's the difference? Tootsie, goodbye. Half dollar, goodbye. Da-dee-da-dum-bum-dee-dum. Da-da-da-dum-dum-dee-um-bum-bum-bum-bum-bee-bum. Toot-toot.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Well, Mr. Kitzel.
Mr. Benny, who was your friend, too, who I just saw you talking to?
My friend? Oh, that was some poor man who wanted a dime for a cup of coffee, but I gave him a half a dollar.
Bless your heart.
Thank you. By the way, Mr. Kitzel, where are you going?
I'm on my way to the baseball game.
Oh, yes, there is a game tonight. The Angels in San Diego. I didn't know you were such a fan.
Oh, my, yes. But I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Benny. The baseball players are not like they used to be.
You're right. Some of those old-timers were really great.
Oh, my, when I think of such players like Christy Mathewson, Ty Cobb, Rabbi Marinville.
No, Mr. You mean Rabbit Marinville.
Rabbit? Him I never heard of.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to be late, Mr. Benny. See you again.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Kitzel, while I was in the drugstore, I meant to buy a package of Lucky Strikes, and I forgot to. Do you happen to have a...
Of course. I smoke Lucky's.
Oh.
Yeah, have one of mine.
Well, thanks.
Believe me, Mr. Benny, I've been smoking Lucky Strikes for nigh on to 25 years.
You have?
Yeah. I'll never forget the first time I ever smoked a Lucky. The mildness, the smoothness. Oh.
You really like them, eh, Mr. Kitzel?
Like them. Not only are they round and firm and fully packed, but there's never a riff-raff in a Lucky.
No, you mean rough puff.
Riff-raff, rough puff. Light one and enjoy.
Thank you. Well, goodbye, Mr. Kitzel.
Sold American.
Say goodbye. Yeah, Mr. Kitzel is a nice guy. But then I'm a nice guy, too. Yeah, a fellow only asked me for a dime, and I gave him 50 cents. Yeah, I wish Luella had been there to see it. Maybe I'll call her when I get home. Well, here's my house. Wasn't such a long walk after all. Let's see now, which one is my door key? Here's the key to my car, the key to the garage, the key to my hope chest. If Mary doesn't ask me soon, I'm going to start wearing those things. Oh, here's the key to the door.
Boss, is that
Rochester, I didn't know you were home.
I'm in the kitchen.
Rochester, isn't this your day off?
Yeah, but I thought I'd stay home and get caught up with these dishes.
Well, look, you've let a whole week's dishes accumulate. Why do you let them pile up like that?
It isn't my fault. It's that new soap you bought. We just can't get together.
What do you mean you and the soap can't get together?
When time's in, I'm out.
Oh, say, Rochester, on the way home...
excuse me, boss. I want to put these clean dishes away.
Rochester, you know, on my way home, some poor fella asked me for a dime.
Uh-huh.
But I gave him 50 cents. Rochester, why'd you drop those dishes? All I said was I gave a man 50 cents. Rochester, you didn't have to push that second stack off the drain board.
I didn't touch them. They jumped off by themselves.
What a mess.
Boss, look at me.
Huh?
Did you really give a man 50 cents?
I certainly did, Rochester. And, you know, if I had known the wonderful feeling, the warm glow I'd get from being generous, I would have started earlier in life.
Boss, would you like to talk about my salary?
Mañana. That's a word I picked up in Palm Springs. Well, Rochester, I've had a long day, so I think I'll go to bed.
Okay. Good night, boss.
Good night. Toot-toot-tootsie, goodbye. Toot-toot-tootsie, don't cry. Da-dee-da-dum-boom-boom. Da-da-da-dum. Yeah, I bet I'll really sleep tonight. Ah, this bed feels good. Feels good to get my shoes off, too. That's a funny-looking sock. Oh, for heaven's sake, I told Rochester 1,000,000 times, don't put my gloves in that drawer. No wonder my toes were cold. They were separated. Where are my pajamas? Oh, here they are. I don't ever remember being as tired. Oh, my goodness, I almost forgot. Dear Diary, April 9th, 1950 cents. Today, I did a wonderful thing. A needy person asked me for a dime for a cup of coffee, and I gave him 50 cents. Rochester, what happened in the kitchen?
I don't know. I'm in bed.
Oh. Well, I better get to bed, too. I got to get up early tomorrow morning and play golf with Mary. Oh, gee, I forgot to call Luella and tell her about giving that man 50 cents. Yeah, but then maybe that's too hammy. It was nice of me, though. I didn't even know the fella, and I gave him 50 cents. 50 cents. He didn't have a gun or anything. I just gave him 50 cents.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your CBS worldwide correspondent bringing you the event you've all been waiting for. Today, dignitaries from the four corners of the earth have gathered at this banquet to pay homage to the most generous man in the world, Jack Benny.
That's me. He's talking about me. They're giving me a banquet.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this great event is coming to you from the banquet room of the Taj Mahal. The dais is replete with dignitaries. A hush falls over the audience as the master of ceremonies rises to his feet. He is none other than the Honorable Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill at a banquet for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a deep feeling of pride that I have come here to preside on this wonderful occasion. Little did our guest of honor know that his exhibition of generosity would shake the very foundation of the world. I know that most of you were as shocked as I was. When the news reached me, I was sitting on the front steps of number 10 Downing Street. As you all know, I'm not quite inside yet. And now, as your master of ceremony, it is my pleasure to bring you the next speaker. A great cinema star from Hollywood, Mr. James Cagney.
James Cagney?
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? It's a pleasure to be here. There are so many things going to be said tonight about Mr. Benny tossing 4 bits to a panhandler that I'm not the kind of a guy who makes flowery speeches. But I'd like to say one thing. Good health to all from the Taj Mahal.
Bill must be paying him, too.
And now for our next speaker, another celebrity who not only regards Mr. Benny as his best friend, but has for many years had the good fortune of being Jackson's next-door neighbor.
He called me Jackson. Winnie called me Jackson.
And here he is, our next speaker, Mr. Ronald Coleman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If I were king, I couldn't possibly wish for a better neighbor. If I were king. Yes, if I were king, I would bestow upon our guest of honor the title of knighthood. If I were king. If I were king, I'd see that every man in my kingdom had 5 acres of land, a 10-room house, and a glass with lipstick on it. And now, before I conclude, I would like to assure Mr. Churchill that the 50 cents that Mr. Benny gave away came out of his own pocket and will not be deducted from the Marshall Plan.
Of course not.
Thank you, Ronnie.
That's quite all right, Winnie.
Ladies and gentlemen, while Mr. Churchill is introducing the next speaker, I want to take this opportunity of passing through this vast audience and pointing out some of the other celebrities who are here today. At the far end of this table, I see Princess Elizabeth. Seated next to her is Madame Chiang Kai-shek. Looking down the table, we see Queen Juliana of the Netherlands. And seated next to the Queen, we have a lovely lady dressed in ermine cape, star sapphire tiara, and a diamond bracelet. I beg your pardon, miss, but I've taken the liberty of describing your jewels, so now may I ask, who are you?
I'm the girl who works in the drugstore.
Oh, well, who is this sitting beside you?
Don Wilson. He hasn't finished eating yet.
So now, once again, we take you to the dais and Winston Churchill.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, another great man and speaker, Mr. Cary Grant.
Good evening. Cary Grant is here, too.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here tonight at the Taj Mahal honoring this great man. I'd like to say only this. Mr. Benny may have had the experience of being Charlie's aunt, but I was a male war bride. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Grant. And now we come to one of the highlights of the evening. A man to whom Mr. Benny gave the 50 cents. Mr. John L. Cicerone.
That's the guy. That's the guy I gave the money to.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to have this chance to talk to you because, I have a confession to make. When Mr. Benny gave me the 50 cents, I didn't want to buy nothing to eat. I just want to take the 50 cents and buy a sweepstake ticket.
Sweepstake ticket?
Well, I did. And that night I went home and I was just hanging around the house. I wasn't doing anything. Just hanging around the house. I didn't feel like doing anything. So I was hanging around the house and... I started listening to the radio. All of a sudden, the radio started talking to me. And I had the radio for 3 years. I never said anything to the radio. The radio never said anything to me. I didn't speak to any furniture in my house at all. Son, the radio says, did you know that you are the winner of $150,000? I said, who? You. Me? Yeah. I said, you know what my number is? He said, your number is 247-590-307-M6-9907. 389-044. 8773 Journal C. Savorny. I said, holy smoke, that's me. So I won $150,000.
$150,000?
That's what I won.
Then $150,000 is mine. I gave you the 50 cents. I paid for that ticket. It's mine. It's mine. I paid for it. I paid for it, do you hear? It's mine. I paid for it.
Boss!
It's mine. It's mine. I paid for it.
Boss, wake up!
I paid.
Huh? Huh?
Boss, you've been yelling in your sleep.
Oh. Oh, yes, I was dreaming.
What were you dreaming, boss?
About giving that man 50 cents. Say, there go the rest of the bit.
Jack, we'll be back in just a moment, but first... Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Yes, scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Confirming these scientific tests, an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research reports Lucky Strike, mildest of 6 major brands tested. LSMFT. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. That's why with every Lucky, you get the rich taste of fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Yes, smoothness and mildness with never a rough puff. Just listen to the words of Mr. Raymond W. Crutchfield, for 16 years an independent tobacco warehouseman from Reidsville, North Carolina. Recently, he said, in my experience as a warehouseman, year after year, I've seen the makers of Lucky Strike buy good smoking tobacco. Fine, ripe, mild leaf that makes one great smoke. I've smoked Luckies for 20 years. So, smoke a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For the rich taste of fine tobacco, for smoothness and mildness, remember, there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, the impersonations of Winston Churchill, James Cagney, Cary Grant, and Mr. Salvoni, the man I gave the 50 cents to, were done. All of these impersonations were done by Frankie Fontaine. Ronald Coleman was impersonated by Dennis Day.
The impersonation of giving away 50 cents was done by Jack Benny.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, 9 out of 10 fires start
back through carelessness. Each year, forest fires alone destroy enough timber to build 86,000 homes, cripple vital watersheds, and worst of all, cause much loss of life. Do your part to prevent fires. Never discard lighted matches or cigarettes. Put them out. Take every precaution you can to prevent fires. Be sure to hear Dennis Day and A Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned to the Cincinnati show, which follows immediately. Frankie Fontaine appears with the courtesy of 20th Century Fox, producers of the Technicolor production, Cheaper by the Dozen, starring Clifton Webb. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Jack Benny Program, presented by Lucky Strike. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Yes, scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Confirming these scientific tests, an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research reports Lucky Strike, mildest of 6 major brands tested. And no wonder Lucky Strike cigarettes have been proved milder. For years, Lucky Strike has conducted a unique and vast program in research, in quality controls, and manufacturing methods. And today, tomorrow, always, LSMFT, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco, fine, light, naturally mild tobacco that gives you smoothness and mildness and never a rough puff. So light up a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For the rich taste of fine tobacco, for smoothness and mildness, remember there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, spring is here. And last night, as a romantic moon smiled down on Beverly Hills, our little star was sitting alone in his den by an open window.
Ah, look at that moon. Smell those orange blossoms. Now I know what they mean when they say, in the spring, a young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of love. Gosh, most of my friends are married, and I'm... Hello?
Hello, Jack. This is Mary.
Oh, Mary. Mary, how are you, Mary?
Well, I'm fine, Jack, and Jack, I hope I didn't disturb you.
No, Mary. I'm just sitting here in the den thinking.
Well, that's funny. I've been thinking, too.
That's funny. That's what I've been doing. Thinking.
Well, look, Jack. We've known each other for a long time, and, it's spring, and...
Yes.
Well, I know it isn't my place to say it, but...
What's the difference? Which one of us says it? It's spring.
All right, I'll say it. Jack.
Yes?
Why don't you get your house painted?
That's what happened last night. And this morning...
I'll get it, Rochester.
Good morning, Jack.
Mary, what are you doing here so early? And who's this man with you?
He's the painter.
The painter? But, Mary, I didn't have a chance to think it over. After all...
Mr. Hawkins, this is Jack Benny.
Hi, Rube.
What?
I've certainly heard a lot about you. Shake. Sorry, forgot I was holding a wet paintbrush.
Mary.
I took him off another job to come here.
Why'd you have to bring him so early? I haven't even had my breakfast yet.
All right ahead. I won't disturb you at all. I'll just come right in and...
Ouch, my foot.
Oops, dropped my ladder.
Well, don't just stand there. Pick it up.
Okie dokie. Hold this.
Give it to me by the handle. Heaven's sake.
Oh, boss, your coffee's getting cold.
Okay, Rochester. Say, Dow, would you like to have breakfast with me?
Don't mind if I do.
I'm talking to Miss Livingston. Mary, would you like breakfast?
I wouldn't mind some coffee.
While you're having your breakfast, I'll go through the room and then give you an estimate.
Good, good.
My, what a lovely piano.
Not with a paintbrush. Mary, what kind of...
Jack, it was an accident. Come on in the kitchen, have your breakfast.
Okay. Rochester, put an extra cup on the table.
Oh, hello, Miss Livingston.
Good morning, Rochester.
Just in time. I made a nice batch of pancakes.
Well, I was only going to have a cup of coffee, but since you have pancakes, Rochester, what's that thing you just put on the plate?
A hypodermic needle.
A hypodermic needle? What's in it?
Syrup.
Syrup?
In this house, we don't pour it on with careless hands. We inject it.
Now, stop making things up. Mary, this thing that looks like a hypodermic needle is really a cake decorator, and it's filled with whipped cream. So it comes in handy when you want to write Happy Birthday or Merry Christmas.
Well, what's it doing on the breakfast table?
Mr. Benny not only wants his pancakes size of $1, but I got to write E pluribus unum on every one of them.
Rochester.
Putting the feathers on the eagle is murder.
Rochester, be quiet.
You know, Jack, the way Rochester's got those pancakes fixed up, they do look like dollars.
Yeah. Say, Mary, you want to hear something funny?
What?
Yesterday when I was shopping, I thought I'd have a little fun, so I tried to pass one of them at the meat market.
And what happened?
Well, the butcher bit it to see if it was good. It was good, so he ate it. Now, come on, let's go.
Hey, Rube!
Huh?
I looked at both your upstairs bedrooms, and they look nice and green.
Oh. Have you seen the bathroom?
No, I haven't been outside yet.
Outside?
Oh, forgot I was in the city.
Well, go upstairs and look at it.
Okay, Rube. See you later.
Wish you wouldn't keep calling me Rube all the time. Mary, how in the world can you bring a strange painter you know nothing about and expect me...
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. Mr. Hawkins isn't a stranger. He's an old friend of my family. It was on account of him that my sister Babe broke her leg.
You mean he broke...
Oh, it wasn't his fault. Papa hired him to do some painting. And when Mr. Hawkins put the ladder up against the house, Babe thought it was an elopement and stepped out the window.
No.
Yeah. She landed with her head in a bucket of paint, and for 2 years she was known as the girl with the green hair.
Mary, while you were off last week, did you write that routine? You know, if you did, it's the last time that you... Come in.
Oh, it's Don and the Sportsman Quartet. Hello, boys.
Hiya, Don. How are you?
Oh, all right, I guess.
Don, what's the matter?
No, I'd rather not talk about it.
Now, wait a minute, Don. I know something's bothering you. Now, what is it?
Well,
Come on, Don. What is it?
Well, Jack, a terrible thing happened to me this morning. I stepped on the bathroom scale and I weighed 186 pounds.
Well, Don, that should have made you happy. That's 90 pounds less than you ever weighed.
Well, I was happy. I was thrilled. But then I discovered something.
Oh, your bathroom scale was wrong?
No, my stomach was resting on the wash basin.
Don. He likes it. Don. Don, did you come over here just to tell me that joke?
Oh, yes, Jack, I thought it was very funny.
Oh, you did, eh? Well, Don, there's an old Chinese proverb that says, announcer who make joke about stomach and basin soon washed up. Another joke like that and I'll be washed up. My writers own an oil well. I can't do anything with it. for, Don?
Well, Jack, I brought the quartet with me because they have an idea for a commercial and they want you to hear it.
Well, I'm glad you did, Don, because we haven't got the commercial set for the show. Now, what...
Hey, Roo!
Just a minute. Now, what is it, Mr. Hawkins?
Just looked in the kitchen, and to paint the walls and the ceiling will come to $12. But I'll only charge you 10.
Why?
I ate 2 pancakes.
Good. Now, Don, what's this idea the boys have for a commercial?
Well, Jack, every year we do something appropriate for the season.
Uh-huh.
And so far this year, we haven't done anything about spring.
Say, that's right, Don. It is spring. You know, as a matter of fact, last night I was sitting in my den by an open window, and I was looking up at the romantic moon and smelling the fragrance of orange blossoms, when all of a sudden the phone rang.
And what happened?
What happened? I'm having my house painted. Well, Don, if the boys have something... I better get an oil well myself. Well, Don, if the boys have something good for spring, I think it'll be good for the show Sunday. Let's hear it now.
Okay, take it, boys.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, of a summer of roses and wine, of a summer of roses and wine. But it's not of the flowers that we want to sing, 'cause they can't compare with this message we bring. Tobacco that grows in the spring, tra-la, tobacco that grows in the spring. It grows in Kentucky, tra-la, tra-la. It's put in a lucky tra-la, tra-la. That is why there is never a rust, puff. There's never a puff that is rough. From our analytical surveys we know there's nothing superior to Lucky's. Oh, no. Tobacco that grows in the spring. Oh-lee-lee-oh-lay, oh-lee-lee-oh-lee-lay. Yes, that is the message we bring.
That was very good, Don. Don, that'll be swell on the show.
I thought you'd like it, Jack. Well, we've got to be running along now.
Okay, Don. See you later. You know, Mary, I was just thinking of something. I hope this fella doesn't charge me too much for painting the house. I mean, I don't want to go to a lot
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack. You only have your house painted every 5 or 6 years. Why be so cheap?
Cheap? Mary, I'm not cheap, and I resent your saying that.
What?
You may not know it, but last week a fella stopped me on the street, asked me for a dime for a cup of coffee, and I gave him 50 cents. There they go again.
What was that?
I'll explain it to you later. Every time I...
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mary.
Hi, kid.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Can I use your phone?
The phone? Sure, kid, sure. Go ahead.
Hello? Now listen, you. I've warned you before, and this is the last time. This town ain't big enough for both of us, see? I'm giving you 24 hours to get out, or you'll wind up at the bottom of the river in a barrel of cement. So get out of town, punk, and stay out.
Dennis, who were you talking to?
Humphrey Bogart. I drive him nuts.
What?
Dennis, why do you keep calling Humphrey Bogart and telling him to get out of town?
I'm in love with Lauren Bacall.
Dennis, I don't care who you're in love with. Don't you ever do that again. Bogart may trace the call and find out it came from here, and he'd come over and punch me in the nose.
What's the matter, you chicken?
Chicken? Dennis, what's come over you lately?
I don't know, but if it changes my voice, I'll lose 2 shows.
Now, look, kid, you came over here to use my phone. You used it. I'm too busy to listen to your silly talk, so why don't you go home?
Well, don't you want to hear the song I'm going to do on the program first?
Well, all right, let me hear it. But as soon as you do the song... there's someone at the back door. Oh, Rochester! Rochester! Oh, well, I'll answer it myself. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Yes?
Excuse me, mister. Could you help a feller out?
What?
I ain't had nothing to eat since yesterday.
Say, wait a minute. You look familiar to me.
Huh?
Didn't you stop me last week on Vine Street?
Say, that's right. I asked you for a dime for a cup of coffee, and you give me $50.
I thought I saw your face before. Well, look, I'll arrange to get you something to eat, but first I'd like to ask you a question, Mr.
Savoni. John L.C. Savoni.
Well, Mr. Savoni, this question sounds silly, but did you buy a sweepstakes? Did you buy a sweepstakes ticket with the money I gave you?
Oh, no. That would be spending the dough foolishly.
Oh. Well, what did you do with the money?
I bought a guide to the movie star's home.
You were so broke that you had to beg for money, and you spent it to buy a guide to the movie star's home?
Well, I'll tell you how it happened anyway. I was hanging around the park, and I wasn't doing nothing. I was just hanging around. I didn't feel like doing anything. I said to myself, what are you doing, John? I always call myself John. I never call myself Mr. Savoni. That's my father's name. So I said, I ain't doing nothing. And I wasn't. I was just hanging around the park. I started feeding some of the peanuts to the pigeons.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I shared my peanuts with the pigeons. They never shared nothing with me. After a while, a fellow comes along. He says, hey, you. I says, who? He says, you. I says, me? He says, yeah. Ooh, he made me so nervous. I said, what do you want? He says, do you want to buy a guide to the movie star's home? I wasn't doing nothing, so I bought it.
So that's what you've been doing all day, walking around looking at the movie star's home?
Yeah, and I already saw Gregory Peck, Ray Milland, and Lina Turner. Lina gave me her autograph.
She did?
Yeah, and while she was signing her name, she smiled at me. It made me so nervous.
Well, you just wait here, Mr. Salvoli, and I'll have a man fix you something to eat.
Thank you. But don't make nothing fancy. I'm in a hurry. I got to get over to Bob Hope's house by 5 o'clock.
Oh, are you going to get a meal from Mr. Hope?
No, I'm one of his writers.
Well, look, you just wait here, and I'll have some food brought to you.
Wait a minute. It's 4 o'clock. Can I have a cocktail first?
No, my bar doesn't open till 6. Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
There's a hungry man out in the back. Will you go in the kitchen and pick some something to eat?
Yes, sir.
You know, Mary, that's an amazing coincidence. It's the same man who asked me for a dime last week, and I gave him 50 cents. Rochester, what fell?
The pots and pans were all out of dishes.
Come on, Dennis, let's hear the song you're going to do.
Okay.
You're the end of the rainbow, my pot of gold. You're Daddy's little girl to have at home. A precious gem is what you are. Your mommy's bright and shining star. You're the spirit of Christmas, my star on the tree. You're the Easter bunny to Mommy and me. Your sugar, your spice, you're everything nice, and you're Daddy's little girl. You're the treasure I cherish, so sparkling and bright. You were touched by a holy and beautiful light, like angels that sing a heavenly thing, and your Daddy little
That's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. I have to hand it to you, kid. You really have a wonderful voice.
Gee, thanks.
If you want me to, I'll phone Lauren Bacall and tell her.
If a man answers, tell him to get out of town.
Oh, stop, will you? Dennis, when I say nice things to you, I wish that you'd... Come in. Well, Butch and Joey. Come on in, fellas.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Mary, Dennis, you know Butch and Joey of the Beverly Hills Beavers.
Oh, sure.
Hello, boys. Hello.
What are you fellas doing here today? There's no meeting, is there?
Oh, no, we just want to remind you we're having baseball practice tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, yes, I almost forgot.
Have you boys got a baseball team? Uh-huh. And Mr. Benny is our pitcher. Mr. Benny pitches for you? Sure. If he was good enough for the New York Yankees, he's good enough for us. Jack, did you tell?
Quiet, Mary. By the way, boys, have you been practicing for the show you're going to do next week?
Uh-huh. What's this about a show?
Oh, I thought I told you, Mary. It's the cutest thing. Next week they're giving a play in the school auditorium to raise money to pay for their baseball uniforms.
Well, that's nice. What play are you going to do? Tom Sawyer or Robin Hood or...
No, we wanted to do something different, so we're going to put on one of Mr. Benny's radio programs.
Really?
Yes, Mary, and each one of the kids is going to play the part of a member of my cast.
Say, that should be cute. Who's going to play the part of Mr. Benny?
I am, Miss Livingston. I was selected because my eyes are robin's egg blue.
You almost needed an oil well there. Not quite as blue as mine, but they'll do, you know.
And we got a girl to play your part, Miss Livingston. She's 7 years old.
7 years old? Is she pretty?
Uh-huh. And she'll be even prettier when her front teeth come in.
Isn't that cute, Mary?
And Miss Livingston, we even got someone to play the part of your sister.
Say, they're really doing everybody. Who's playing the part of my sister Babe?
My brother Herman.
I helped them cast that part, you know.
Say, Joey, have you got kids to play Phil Harris and Dennis Day?
Uh-huh. And we got a real butterball for Don Wilson. Yeah, you ought to see the belly on him.
Well, fellow Beavers, we'll all be at the show next week, and we want to wish you a lot of luck.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Benny. Well, we came over here to get some money.
Money?
Well, you're our treasurer.
Oh, yes.
We need $9 to get the programs printed and $5 for the tickets.
Oh. See, that's $14. Well, wait here, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I've got to go down to the vault to get the money. Excuse me, Mary. Here we are. Darn it, I always forget about that barbed wire.
Halt, who goes there, friend or foe? Friend. What's the password?
RAGGMOPP Ragman.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Benny.
Yes. How are you, Ed?
Fine. What's new on the outside world?
Oh, nothing much, except that the country is thinking of admitting Hawaii and Alaska as states.
My, how exciting. That'll make 37, won't it?
No, Ed, it'll be 50. Well, excuse me, I want to take some money out.
Money out?
Yes. I may be down again tomorrow. You know, I'm having my house painted.
Oh, is there a house up there now?
Uh-huh. Now, excuse me, Ed, I want to open the safe.
Shall I take another loyalty oath?
No, Ed. Senator McCarthy hasn't mentioned you yet. Now, let's see. What's the combination? Right to 45. Left to 160. Back to 15. And left to 110. There. See, I need $9 for the program. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That takes care of the programs. Now 5 for the tickets. I think I'll take it in silver. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a pancake. Here's $1. There, that'll do.
Mr. Benny, you dropped one of the bills.
Oh, yes, I'll pick it up.
Look, you dropped another one. How come your hands are shaking like that?
I don't know, Ed, but it seems that whenever I count money, it makes me so nervous. So long, Ed.
Oh, my goodness, he took out $14 and went crazy.
We'll be back in just a moment, but first...
Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Yes, scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Confirming these scientific tests, an independent consulting laboratory with more than 15 years' experience in cigarette research reports Lucky Strike, mildest of 6 major brands tested. LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. That's why with every Lucky, you get the rich taste of fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. Yes, smoothness and mildness with never a rough puff. So smoke a Lucky. Prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Let your own taste and throat be the judge. For the rich taste of fine tobacco, for smoothness and mildness, remember there's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. So round, so firm, so fully packed, so free and easy on the draw.
Good night, folks.
Be sure to hear Dennis Day and a Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned for the Amos Mandy Show, which follows immediately. And don't forget, Jack Benny is going to be with Edgar Bergen's show. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Jack Benny program, presented by Lucky Strike. Scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Yes, Lucky Strike is milder, and science provides the proof. Test after test produced conclusive evidence of Lucky Strike's greater mildness. But that's not all. These scientific tests are confirmed by independent consulting laboratories, and they prove Lucky Strike, mildest of 6 major brands tested. Yes, with every Lucky Strike you light, you get a truly smoother smoking, milder tasting cigarette. There's never a rough puff in a Lucky Strike. And here's one big reason why Lucky Strike is milder. LSMFT, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco that gives you more real deep-down smoking enjoyment. So for the rich taste of fine tobacco, for smoothness and mildness, light up a Lucky. Yes, prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Make your next carton Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a local subscriber to the weekly publication printed by the boys of the Beverly Hills Beavers, you know that tonight the members of the club are putting on a play at the school auditorium. Of course, Jack Benny, who happens to be the treasurer of the club, is planning to go. And at the moment, Rochester is pressing Jack's suit.
Press it once and press it twice, then press it once again. It's been a long, long time. Well, I got the pants pressed. Now for the coat. What's this he's got in here? Well, a bag of rice. Oh, yes, Vice President Barclay's wedding. Mr. Benny wasn't invited, but that didn't stop him. He put on his tuxedo, went to the newsreel, and threw rice at the screen. I better finish pressing the coat before... What do you know? The price tag is still under the collar. $22.50. That isn't much to pay for a tuxedo. I wonder where he bought it. Should be on the label. Yeah, here it is. The Pep Boys. Oh, yes. In those days, there used to be
Rochester, have you finished pressing my clothes yet?
Yes, boss, but who was the last one you rented this tuxedo to?
Why?
Every time I lay the coat down, the arms fold.
Oh, stop, will you?
Anyway, you're only going to a school play. Why dress formal?
Rochester, the Beavers aren't putting on just a play. They're going to do their version of my radio program. You see, each one of the kids will portray a member of my cast.
Oh.
And since I'm the inspiration for their show, they may ask me to come up on the stage and make a speech. Gosh, I haven't made a speech since Vice President Barclay's wedding. Then I didn't get to finish it. The feature picture came on. Anyway, Rochester, this play the kids are putting on is... I'll get it. It's strange. There's no one here. Now, why would anybody ring a doorbell and then... That's funny. Nobody here this time, either.
Boss, put your glasses on. That door's to the closet.
Oh. I'll get it.
Want a bet?
Never mind. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What took you so long to answer the door?
Nothing. Anyway, why are you here so early? We don't leave for the school auditorium for an hour yet.
Well, I couldn't find my coat, and I thought maybe I left it over here.
Your coat? I don't think so.
Did you look in the closet?
Oh, did he?
Your coat's not in there, Mary. Now, as soon as I get dressed, we'll go.
Here's your tuxedo, boss.
Help me on with the coat, Rochester. I want to see if it still fits. Thanks.
Jack, If you wear that old thing, I'm not going with you.
What?
You got that tuxedo when you first went into vaudeville. It's so old-fashioned now.
Old-fashioned?
Yes. Look how long the coat is.
What are you laughing at?
You look like the villain in The Drunkard.
Only when I wear the cape. Now, Mary.
Ah, me proud beauty. If you don't pay the mortgage, I'll throw you and the baby out in the snow.
Mary, stop, will you please?
Well, look, Jack, I'll make you a proposition.
Huh?
If you buy a new tuxedo, I'll take you down to the May Company and get you a big discount.
Mary, you mean that after all these years you've been working for me, the May Company still gives you a discount?
They send me food, too.
Now, cut that out. I'm going to wear the tuxedo I've got, and that settles it. Now, Rochester, I won't be home. I'll get it. Hello?
Hiya, Jackson. I just called you to find out if I can cancel tomorrow's band rehearsal on account of... Don't crowd me, lady. I'll be off the phone in a minute.
Phil, where are you calling from?
The corner drugstore. I'm picking up some medicine for Remley.
What?
Well, that's why I want to cancel the rehearsal. Frankie's got an awful cold. Lady, stop crowding me.
What's the matter with Frankie anyway? He's always catching cold.
Yeah, he caught this last one sleeping next to an open window.
An open window? Well, why didn't he close it?
It wouldn't have done any good. He was on the outside of the house.
That's the silliest thing I ever heard, sleeping outside of the house. Why didn't he go in?
Wasn't his house.
What?
I told him 1,000,000 times, don't take them shortcuts. Don't crowd me, lady. I'm rolling.
Well, okay, Phil. You can have band rehearsal the next day.
I can't do that either, Jackson. That's why I'm trying to get Remley over his cold. You see, he's getting married that day.
Huh? Remley's getting married? Well, that's certainly news to me. Where's Frankie's wedding going to take place?
At the little bar around the corner.
Well, Phil, if I know Remley's friends, who's going to stand up for him? Don't crowd me, Mary. I'm rolling. Well, look, Phil, don't worry about the band rehearsal. You can have it any time. Goodbye.
So long. Oh, by the way, Jackson, did you get that record I sent you this morning?
Yes, Phil, but I haven't played it yet. What is it?
Well, it's a song called Wilhelmina. You see, it's from the picture I just made, Wabash Avenue, and I do it with a sportsman quartet.
Oh, well, I'll play it as soon as I...
Just a minute, Dad. What's that, lady? Oh, you just realized who I am, huh? Yeah, that's me. Well, just a minute. I'm giving the lady my autograph.
Oh.
Hey, Jackson.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes. What is it?
Does sincerely start with a C?
Yes, Phil. C-I-N...
I got the rest of it. So long, Clyde.
Goodbye. Oh, Mary, Phil sent me a record that he made with the Sportsman Quartet. Let's play it, will you?
Okay. Where is it?
Right there by the phonograph. And play it loud, Mary, so I can hear it in the other room while I'm getting dressed.
Wilhelmina, she's the cutest little girl in Copenhagen. Wilhelmina, she has all the fellas crazy in the noggin. In Copenhagen. And the roses on her cheeks, and the music when she speaks, and how sweet her kisses taste.
Sugar babies like my mama's 80s taste. Sweet Wilhelmina.
Well, maybe soon we will elope in Copenhagen. Wilhelmina, we'll share everything, including my toboggan.
In Copenhagen.
All the other girls say no.
Oh, no.
But Wilhelmina, she says nine.
No time.
All the boys call Wilhelmina Willie.
Yeah.
But I call Wilhelmina mine.
Smoke a lucky, and you'll never find a cigarette that's smoother. Smoke a lucky, ask your father, mother, sister, and your brother.
Your brother?
There's the line and mile, you see. Just a cigarette for me. Yes, it's LSMFT.
And that means Lucky Strike is made of fine tobacco. Wilhelmina.
Smoking Lucky's all day long in Copenhagen.
Wilhelmina.
If she didn't, she'd be crazy in the noggin. In Copenhagen. All the other girls want Phil. But Wilhelmina, she says 9. She would rather have a pack of Lucky. Cause she thinks Lucky Strike's a fine.
Who, Wilhelmina?
Than ever loving gal of mine.
Say, Mary, that was very good, and it was thoughtful of Phil to get the sportsman to do it with him.
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. There's a little more on the record.
There is? Play it.
Good health to all from Rexall.
I knew he'd get that.
Say, Jack, don't you think it's about time we left for the school auditorium?
Yes, we haven't got much time. Rochester, get my car out of the garage.
You can't use the car, boss. A nail went through one of the tires.
Oh.
I told you not to buy such cheap tires.
Rochester, the most expensive tire in the world can be punctured by a nail.
A fingernail?
Well, what did you touch it for? Always testing. Now what are we going to do?
I've got my car outside.
Okay, Mary, we'll go in yours. Come on.
Bye, Rochester.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Mary, wasn't that a nice song from Phil's picture?
Yeah. Wilhelmina, she's the cutest little girl in Copenhagen. In Copenhagen.
Jackie Benny, you've got the truest, bluest eyes in any noggin. In Waukegan. I tried to get Waukegan in there. I had a tough time.
Look, Jack, here comes Dennis on a bicycle.
Where?
Hello, Mary. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, kid. Say, we were just leaving for the school auditorium. Aren't you going to see the Beverly Hills Beavers put on their play?
Oh, sure, but it's such a nice night, I thought I'd ride over on my new bicycle.
Oh, is that a new one, Dennis?
Yeah, I won it last night on a quiz program.
On a quiz program? Gosh, you're really lucky.
Yeah.
Was it a hard question?
Oh, no, it was easy. The man pointed at me and said, would you pay $100 for this bicycle? I said yes, so I gave him the $100, and he gave me the bicycle.
Dennis.
I almost won a refrigerator, but I didn't have enough money.
Look, kid. Dennis, look at me, look. Did the master of ceremony of this quiz program have a little hammer in his hand?
Yeah.
Dennis, you were at an auction.
Certainly. And all those people crowded around, they were bidding. Now, come on, we better get to the school auditorium.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Dennis, did you ask your mother if you could go quail hunting with me again next week?
Yeah.
Dennis, I didn't know you go with Mr. Benny on his hunting trips.
Oh, sure. I'm his retriever.
You mean when he shoots, you bring back the quail?
No, when he misses, I have to bring back the buckshot.
All right. Now, Dennis, leave your bicycle here and come with us.
Okay.
Say, this school auditorium really is packed. But we got pretty good seats, haven't we, Mary?
Oh, these are fine. Right in the center.
Can you see all right, Dennis?
No.
Well, why don't you ask that man in front of you to take off his hat?
It isn't his.
What?
It's mine. I put it there.
Dennis, are you crazy? Why would you do a thing like that?
Bald heads upset me.
Oh, be quiet, will you?
Hey, Mr. Benny. Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Joey. Is everything ready backstage for your show?
Uh-huh.
Are the kids nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, Mr. Benny. And by the way, you'll be happy to know that we're almost sold out of the popcorn you made.
Good. Now, push the lemonade.
Okay. See you later.
Oh, just a minute, Joey. Did you finally get a fat kid to play Don Wilson?
No, but we're letting Warren do it, and we stuffed a pillow in his shirt.
Oh, fine. Now, you better hurry. You'll be late. Well, Mary, it won't be long now before the show starts.
Gee, I hope the Beavers really do a...
Hey, Mary.
Huh?
Don't look now, but there's a lady across the aisle who keeps staring at me. I guess she recognizes me.
Where?
Shh. Here she comes.
Pardon me, but would you be good enough to give me your autograph?
Why, certainly. There you are.
Thank you. You were wonderful in The Drunkard.
I told you not to wear that cape.
I'll take it off. You know, Mary, this idea of the little kids doing my radio program is really clever, isn't it?
Yes, Jack, I think it's the cutest. Oh, the curtain's going up.
Oh, yeah. And look, they've even got a kid orchestra.
Quiet. Here they go.
The Jack Benny Program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to you the star of our show, a man who still has the first dollar he ever earned. Not because he's cheap, but because you can't spend Confederate money. And here he is, Jack Benny!
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, did you think up that introduction all by yourself?
Yes, I did, Jack, and I thought it was very funny.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yes.
Don, blubber boy. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, big fat announcer who make insulting joke about boss soon finds salary, not big fat. And another thing, Don. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Hiya, Don.
Say, Mary, I called you last night, but your maid said you were out.
That's right. I went to the baseball game with Van Johnson.
Oh, that was nice. Who won?
When you're with Van Johnson, who watches the game? Oh! Stop ad-libbing.
What's this you dropped on the floor?
That? Oh, that's the letter I got from Mama.
Oh, from your mother, huh? What does the wild goose of Plainfield have to say?
I'll read it to you. My darling daughter Mary, just a few lines to let you know that we are all well. The weather is nice here now, but as you probably read in the paper, last week we had an awful blizzard, and when your Uncle Harry came in from the barn, his milking hand was frozen.
Gee!
I hope it thaws out soon, as we'd like to get the cow out of the house.
I don't blame him.
Now for a few words about your sister Babe.
Ah, this is the part I always wait for.
Quiet. Since your sister Babe got married, she decided to have her teeth straightened.
Babe's teeth do protrude a little.
I'll never forget the ceremony when the minister said, "Do you take this man to be your husband?" Babe opened her mouth to say, "I do," and ripped her veil to shreds.
Hey, Mary, that little girl is a natural-born actress.
Yeah, she went right on reading the letter, even though her bloomers were slipping down.
Yeah.
Another news, so we'll close now. With love, your loving mother, Mama.
You know, Mary, your mother... Wow, look who's here.
Won't you come with me to Alabama? Let's go see my girl.
Jackson. Hello, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Hiya, Livy, you gorgeous hunk of whistle bait, you.
By the way, how are Alice and the children?
Oh, fine. I just left them. I took them over to the park for a rehearsal for next week's May party.
A May party?
Yeah, you should have seen all them kids. They looked so cute, they danced around me.
Danced around you? Didn't they have a maypole?
Yeah, but, well, I was prettier.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Say, Phil, I've been trying to get in touch with you all week. Where have you been?
Well, me and Remley went hunting up in the high Sierras.
Oh, did you hunt bear? Well, we... Wait a minute. Hey, Jackson. Huh? Throw me that lead again, will you? Okay. Did you hunt bear? No, we were dressed to kill. Oh, Harris, that joke alone ought to make CBS buy it. Phil, Pencilhead. That joke alone ought to make CBS put in air conditioning. So you can stop with those... Come in.
Telegram for Jack Benny.
I'm Jack Benny. I'll take it.
Here you are, sir.
And here's a tip for you.
Oh, boy, a nickel. Now I can send my father through college.
Now let's see. I wonder who this telegram...
Oh, Jack.
Oh, what is it, Don?
Did you only give that boy a nickel tip?
Yes, Don. Why?
Well, that convinces me. You're without a doubt the cheapest, most miserly, most parsimonious man I have ever known in my life. Wow!
Now look, Don.
Don is right. You are cheap.
Mary, be quiet or you'll be known as Nylon Nellie at the May Company. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we're going to
Hello, Mr. Benny. Hello, Mary. Hello, Dennis.
Hey, kid, I'm glad you got here because it's time for your... Wait a minute. Dennis, look at me. Huh? Dennis, this is the first time I ever saw you wearing glasses. Are your eyes bad?
No.
Then why are you wearing those glasses?
My uncle died and left them to me.
Your uncle? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I can't see a darn thing with him.
Well, for heaven's sakes, kid, if you can't see with them, take them off. Just because somebody leaves you something in a will, you're not compelled to use it.
I'm not?
No.
Want to buy a set of teeth?
Now cut that out. And take off those glasses. It's time for your song.
My mother said I shouldn't sing in your program anymore.
Why not?
She hates you.
What?
Dennis, why does your mother dislike Jack so much? She used to go with Mr. Benny before she met my father.
She did not.
She said she did.
What was your mother's name before she married your father?
I didn't know her then.
Well, Dennis, I'm tired of your silly talk. Let's have your song.
Okay. Now, Clancy was a peaceful man, if you know what I mean. The cops picked up the pieces after Clancy left the scene. He never looked for trouble, that's a fact you can't assume. But nevertheless, when trouble would press, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. Oh, Larry was the fighting man, they all knew he was tough. He strutted round the neighborhood, just shooting off his guff. He picked a fight with Clancy, then and there he sealed his doom. Before he could shout, oh, look out, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. Now Clancy left the barber shop with tonic on his hair. He walked into the pool room and he met O'Reilly there. O'Reilly said, for goodness sakes, now do I smell perfume? Before you could stack your cue in the rack, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. The neighbors all turned out for Kate O'Grady's wedding night. Ned Dougal said, let's have some fun. I think I'll start a fight. He wrecked the hall but kissed the bride and pulverized the groom. Then quick as a wink before you could think, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom, 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 boom. Sure, it was the most beautiful sight you ever did see when Clancy lowered the boom.
That was Dennis Day singing Clancy Lowered the Boom. And very good, too, Dennis.
That's right, Dennis. You have a beautiful voice. I know. That's why I have 2 shows.
All right. That kid drives me nuts. No wonder I'm gray, and I'm only 39. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight... I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
What is it, Rochester?
Got some news for you. When I went shopping this morning, I put the car in the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
And when I came out of the market, there was a man standing there, and he wanted to buy your car.
He did? Well, I hope you told him my price was $1,000.
Uh-huh. But he told me that the used car market has dropped some in the last few days.
Oh, what did he offer you?
$750.
Well, that isn't so bad.
You ought to see where the decimal point is.
What? $7.50 for my car?
Grab it fast, boss. I'm talking to the Irishman, and he ain't smiling.
Well, I don't care if he's smiling or not. Offering $7.50 for my car. Well, the steering wheel is worth more than that.
We ain't got one.
No steering wheel? Then how did you get it downtown?
Same old way. Lasso the Sunset Bus.
Well, look, Rochester, you tell this fellow that if he wants to buy my car, he can have it for $1,000 and not a cent less.
Okay, just a minute.
Imagine offering me $7.50 for my car. It's in wonderful condition. Still has the original rubber on the windshield wiper. I couldn't sell that.
Oh, boss.
Yes?
The man said he'd give you $9 for the car if you throw in the lasso.
What?
$10.50 if you teach him how to use it.
Rochester, stop being on his side. You know as well as I do if the car's worth at least $1,000.
Oh, boss, come now.
All right. Well, tell the man I'm not selling it anyway, and come down to the studio and pick me up. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I don't know. You try to put on a program and everybody interrupts you. Play, Phil.
Lemonade. Get your lemonade in the lobby.
Jack!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first... In a cigarette, mildness means enjoyment, and scientific tests prove Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. These scientific tests are confirmed by independent consulting laboratories, and they prove Lucky Strike, mildest of 6 major brands tested. And no wonder it takes fine tobacco to make a fine cigarette. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, light, naturally mild tobacco. So for a milder tasting cigarette with never a rough puff, smoke a Lucky. You'll enjoy the smooth, rich taste of Lucky's fine tobacco. You'll prove to yourself what scientific tests prove. Lucky Strike is milder than any other principal brand of cigarettes. Make your next carton Lucky Strike.
We're a little late, folks. I want to thank all the kids of the Beverly Hills Beavers. Good night.
Be sure to hear Dennis Day and the Day in the Life of Dennis Day. Stay tuned to the Entertainment Show, which follows immediately. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The bell for Pell Mell. Pell Mell, famous cigarettes, the cigarette of modern design, presents the Jack Benny Program with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
friends, Pell-Mell rings the bell for you in smoothness, coolness, and better taste. Your eye tells why. Just make this test for yourself. The next time you see a Pell-Mell smoker try to light an old-fashioned short cigarette, watch what he does. You'll find that he holds the flame a good half-inch beyond the tip of the short cigarette. Of course, he's looking for something that isn't there. He's looking for Pell-Mell's modern design. Modern design means Pell-Mell is longer. From the very first puff, Pell-Mell's greater length travels the smoke further, diminishes heat and bite on the way, filters the smoke naturally over a 20% longer route of Pell-Mell's traditionally fine tobacco. Yes, friends, modern design means Pell-Mell is smoother, cooler, a better tasting smoke. That's modern design. Pell-Mell's modern design. And that's the answer. That's why Pell-Mell rings the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Easter Sunday. So let's turn back the clock one day and take you to Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills, where we find Jack trying to decide on what clothes to wear in the Easter parade. Mary is helping him.
Dum bum 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 dum dum da dum da dee da dum. Oh, sweet Georgia Brown. Gosh, Mary, I don't know what to wear tomorrow. My gray suit is at the cleaners.
Well, what about the green suit you wore yesterday?
That's my gray suit. That's why it's at the cleaners. You know, it always turns green in the spring. La, 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 la. Gee, Mary, I'm glad you dropped in. What shall I wear tomorrow?
Jack, Easter only comes once a year. Why don't you buy yourself a new suit?
Well.
You can afford it, you know.
Well.
For heaven's sake, Jack, it's not such a big decision.
I know, but with my luck, I'll buy a new suit today, and tomorrow I'll be drafted.
Well, now I've heard everything. You drafted?
Yes, me.
Jack, they stopped drafting beer, and that had a better body than you have.
Don't be so funny, Mary. I'm in pretty good condition.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got a surprise for you.
What?
I was doing some volunteer work at the local draft board, and I saw your file.
You did? What was my classification?
I didn't notice that, but yours is the only card there trimmed in black.
Mary.
All the other cards are written. Yours is engraved.
Mary.
And in the corner it says, keep off the grass.
Now, cut that out. If you want to help me pick out a suit to wear, all right. If not, you can... There's someone at the door. Yes?
Pardon me, are you the owner of this house?
Yes, why?
You better fix that broken cement on your sidewalk.
What?
I was just walking by here with my wife, and she tripped and fell.
Oh, that's terrible.
Worse than that, it could have been me.
What?
The lucky thing I'm nimble.
Well, I hope your wife isn't hurt, and I'm sorry it happened.
Then you admit it happened.
Huh?
You're under oath, you know.
What?
I'm suing you.
Suing me?
$25,000.
$25,000? Now, wait a minute. You can't sue me.
And why not?
You gotta have witnesses. How do I know your wife tripped and fell on my sidewalk? You gotta show me. I'm from Missouri.
Well, take off that Wilkie button. I'm from Wisconsin.
I don't care where you're from, and get out of here.
All right. Don't get excited. You can't blame a guy for trying. All right, honey, you can get up now. We'll try the next street.
Cheap chiseler, go on, beat it. And that guy coming here to sue me because of that hole in my sidewalk.
Well, that's what you get for neglecting things. That walk has been broken a long time.
I know it, Mary. I bought some cement a couple of months ago, but I never got around to fixing it.
Well, you better get it done before something really happens.
I guess you're right. Oh, Rochester, Rochester.
Just a minute, boss. I'm busy.
What are you doing?
Calling some East eggs.
Oh, that's good. Did you boil them first?
No, boss, I fried them.
Fried them? Then what are you coloring them with?
Ketchup.
Rochester, stop eating those eggs and come in here. That guy eats everything. Doesn't he know that food is rationed?
He ought to. It's been rationed in this house for 12 years.
It has not.
What is it, boy?
Rochester, I want you to go out in front and cement that broken piece of sidewalk.
Cement?
Yes.
You mean a cement job?
Certainly.
Boss, when you hired me for your butler, I read the contract very carefully.
Well?
And the word cement, cemented, or cementing does not appear even in the small print.
What?
Or in Section 3, Clause 8, which is written in Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Oh, it doesn't, eh?
No.
Rochester, how many pages are there in our contract?
76, including the index, appendix, and list of illustrations.
All right, and what are those pages held together with?
You got me, boy. It's cement.
I know what I'm doing every minute. Now, Rochester, let's go out to the garage, grab the tools, and get started. Oh, boy, my arm. Breaking out these old pieces is hard work. Rochester, have you got the cement mixed yet?
Yes, sir. Doggone it, boss. You sure are perspiring.
Yeah. This is hard work.
I haven't seen you sweat like that since you were on information, please.
Rochester, I was never a guest on information, please.
Oh, that's right. I must have been thinking of Fred Allen. No, boss. Forgive me. Forgive me. I didn't mean that. How could I have mentioned that name when you got a hammer in your hand?
You shouldn't mention it anyway. Remember, Article 7, Section 19, Clause 8, 12.
And unfortunately held together with cement.
That's right.
Say, boss, I think you could make a straighter edge on that sidewalk if you use a chisel.
Yeah, I guess I could.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Dennis. Hand me that chisel, Rochester. Thanks.
How are you, Mr. Benny?
Fine, fine.
Have you read any good books lately?
No. Rochester, keep mixing that cement so it won't settle.
Okay, boss.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? What do you think I'm doing?
Planting a victory garden?
Look, Dennis, why in the world would I plant a victory garden on a cement sidewalk?
So you won't have to tear up your lawn.
Look, kid, there was a hole here and a lady tripped and fell in it, so I'm trying to fix it.
Oh.
Now, don't bother me. I'm busy.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Benny.
Not now, Dennis.
Mr. Benny.
Dennis, please.
But, Mr. Benny.
For goodness sake, Dennis, what is it?
You've got the chisel on my foot.
Did I hurt you, kid?
No, it went between my toes.
Well, I'm glad it didn't hurt you. Now, Dennis, will you please do me a favor and go in the house and talk to Miss Livingston? We got to finish this job.
Okay, I'll go in and rehearse my song for tomorrow's broadcast.
Good. There, Rochester, the space is all cleared out now. Will you pour the cement in?
Okay.
Good. Now smooth it over with the trowel. Boy, this is really work. Rochester, what's so funny?
Both of us playing in the mud here, we look like Topsy and Eva.
Yeah, we do at that.
Hey, Jack.
What is it, Mary?
Dennis going to rehearse his song for tomorrow. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, leave the window open.
Okay.
Now, Rochester, you smooth that corner over near you, and I'll level this part over here.
One Lord
is mine. The dream I dreamed was not denied me. Just one more time, then I knew that all I longed for
Well, I'm nearly through, Rochester. How does the cement job look?
Boss, you're wonderful. That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yes, sir. They gave Paul Lucas the Academy Award. It'll look even better, Rochester, when I give it the finishing touches.
Say, here comes Mr. Harris and Mr. Wilson.
Where? Oh, hello, fellas.
Hello, Jack.
Hey, Jackson, what'd you lose? I didn't lose anything. I'm cementing the sidewalk.
Oh, well, it's about time. The other night I passed by here and stubbed my knee.
You mean they're getting the joke already? Phil, you stubbed your toe.
I stubbed my knee. I was coming home from a party.
Oh, well, why didn't you come in?
I couldn't. Alice had me on a leash.
That's very funny, Phil. Now stand back while I... Don, get away from my cement with that stick. What were you going to do?
I was only going to write, Donald loves grape nuts.
Don, I don't care how much you love grape nuts, you're not going to advertise your romance on my sidewalk. How would you like it if you had just cemented your sidewalk and I wrote in it, Jackie loves Gladys Nabisco?
Well, I wouldn't mind if she was malt rich, sweet as a nut, and had that whole grain nourishment.
Yes. I wouldn't mind if you didn't have a frog in your throat either. You know, Don, if you ask me, I think you're silly.
I think he's cute.
What?
You remember me? I'm Herman Peabody, the insurance salesman.
Oh, yes. You belong to the carpool with my gang. I didn't see you standing there behind Mr. Wilson.
I couldn't see you either.
Well, that I understand, Herman.
What you doing?
Oh, there was a hole here and a lady tripped. A hole here, a lady tripped, so I'm fixing it.
Oh.
Now, Rochester...
You know, that's very dangerous, Mr. Benny. You could be sued for a thing like that.
Yes, Herman, I know.
We have a very liberal insurance. It only costs $10 a year, and if you trip and fall, you collect $1 million.
$1 million? Herman, you mean I collect $1 million if I trip and fell?
That's right.
Gee.
Only you have to be hit by lightning at the same time.
Hit by lightning?
On Tuesday at 3:30.
What?
Boulevard watch time.
Oh, fine. Imagine putting in a provision that you have to be hit by lightning. I wouldn't take out that kind of a policy.
Oh, I don't blame you, Mr. Benny. You look silly wearing it in your hat.
Wearing what in my hat?
The lightning rod. My company takes no chances.
Look, fellas, I got to finish my job here. Why don't you go in the house and take Herman with you?
Okay.
You'll find Dennis and Mary inside.
See you later, Jackson.
Now, Rochester, just a little more smoothing out here and we're all through. Hand me that...
Oh, here comes somebody, boss. I better take some of these tools off the sidewalk.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to trip on them and they'll bug me.
Boss, look up. Look up. It's Mr. Basil Rathbone.
Where? Oh, hello, Mr. Rathbone. Basil, it's me, Jack Denny. I'm doing a little cement job.
So I see. I didn't think you'd last long in radio.
I'm only cementing the sidewalk because it's an emergency. That's all.
That's right, Mr. Benny. Still on the radio.
No, some soap program?
No, food. Breakfast food.
I see. Well fed but dirty.
Just a minute. Did you say I'm dirty?
That's what he said. That's what the man said. He said that.
Rochester, please. I guess, Mr. Rathbone, you just said that because right now my clothes are covered with cement. Thanks. I bet you're surprised that I'm capable of fixing a sidewalk like this.
Oh, no, not at all. I've seen you in pictures, and I realize you must be able to do something.
Well, look, Mr. Rathbone, I've followed your career for years, and if I remember correctly, you've never won an Academy Award. Have you? No, but nobody sees my pictures. What's your excuse? Guess that'll hold you for a while.
Oh, say, Mr. Barrelbone, is somebody following you?
Where? Oh, no. No, that's my butler.
You mean you make your butler walk along the street with you?
Oh, if he doesn't mind. He's very democratic, aren't you, Jake?
If you say so, sir.
Well, I say so, Jake.
Thank you, sir.
Rochester, gather up the tools.
If you say so, sir.
Now cut that out and stop curtsying. Please.
Oh, Mr. Rathbone, sir, should I fill your pipe again?
Yes, James, please do.
There you are. They give you a light now?
Yes, James.
There you are, sir.
My, this tobacco is strong. James, a cup for me, will you?
Yes, sir.
What?
Once again, please.
You feel better now, sir?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Rathbone, do you have your butler cough for you?
Yes, with my heavy schedule in pictures, I can't afford to strain my throat.
Oh, Rochester. Rochester.
I know, boss. I'm going to get the cold so I can practice.
Good, I'll audition you later. It's not a bad idea.
Oh, James.
Yes, Hoster?
I think we've chatted long enough with this dilly. Let's bounce along, shall we?
If you say so, sir.
Toodaloo.
How do you like a guy like that? Who does he think he is, anyway?
Oh, Jack.
Yes, Mary?
We're getting hungry. How about some sandwiches?
Okay. Rochester, you worked pretty hard out here.
Yes, boss.
Come on inside and make some sandwiches.
If you say so, sir.
Wait till the gang sees what a nice, smooth job I did with that cement. I'm really proud of it.
Out yet? Yes, Master. But if I may say so, you have a funny gleam in your eye. What's up, sir?
That wet cement on the sidewalk. I can't resist it, Jay. For years, I've watched my footprints in cement at Grauman's Chinese Theater, but I've never had the chance.
I've been ashamed of it too, sir.
But now, Jack Benny unknowingly has given me the opportunity to put my feet in cement.
Yes, sir.
Just look at it. So fresh and nice and soft. Here, Jake, hold my shoe.
Yes, sir.
And wait a minute, here my sock.
Yes, sir. You'd better let me hold your arch support, too.
Oh, yes, by all means. Now to put my feet firmly in this wet cement.
Would you like me to tap it first with my elbow?
James, I only want to stand in it, not sit in it.
I'm sorry, sir.
Now, the left foot first. And now the right. Oh, James. You haven't lived until you've had the thrill of having wet cement ooze up between your toes.
If you don't mind, sir, I'll stick to my blue jay. Are you enjoying yourself, sir?
You've no idea, James. It's wonderful. Now I shall remove my feet. Just look at those beautiful footprints.
Come on outside, kids. I want you to see it. Oh, Master, I think they're coming back. Let's grab it.
Yes, James, hurry.
cement job you've ever seen. I'm really proud of it.
Oh, pulling your chest. It's almost out to your stomach.
Well, what if it is?
I don't blame you for being proud, Jack. You worked hard on it.
Well, there she is, kids. Take a good look. Yikes!
What happened, Jackson?
What happened? Look at the cement. Look. Somebody put their footprints in it.
And look at the size of them.
Yeah.
I wonder where the other footprints are.
What other footprints?
Anything that has feet that big must have two more to go with them.
You're not kidding. I wonder who stuck their big feet in my cement.
I can't understand it. My mother's in Cleveland.
This is the dirtiest trick that has ever been played on me. Who could have done it? Well, there wasn't anybody around when... Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter, Jack?
Basil Rathbone. Basil Rathbone was here just a few minutes ago.
Well, why would he do a thing like that?
Yeah, why would he do it?
That could be the reason.
I don't care what his reason is. I'm going over to Rathbone's house and punch him right in the nose.
I don't blame you, Jackson. I'm going to punch him in the nose, too. After me.
Don't argue about it, fellas. He's got enough nose for all of us. Anyway, I'm not afraid of him. You guys wait here, and I'll handle this myself. They don't come too big for me.
Yes?
Tell Mr. Rathbone I want to see him. You remember me.
Oh, yes. Yes, you're a cement worker.
I'm Jack Benny, the movie star.
If you say so, sir.
Well, I say so, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now tell Mr. Rathbone I want to see him.
Yes, sir. Wait right here, please.
I'm not waiting for anything. I'm coming in right now.
Oh, Mr. Rathbone. Mr. Rathbone.
Yes, James?
Wipe off your feet, sir. Here he comes.
Oh, no, you don't, Rathbone. I caught you red-handed, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
But, Jack.
Imagine a man of your position in the community doing a thing like that.
But, Jack.
Kicking your big feet in my cement. What have you got to say for yourself?
Jack, I know the difficult for you to understand, but it's a phobia with me. When I see cement, something happens to me. Something comes over me. Something seems to snap inside me.
That?
I can't control myself, Jack. Please believe me. I fight against it. But it has me in its vicious, unrelenting power, and no matter what I try to do, it overwhelms me.
Basil, control yourself. It isn't that serious.
Yes, it is. You're only being kind to me.
But, Basil, if it bothers you that much, you can come back and help me fix the cement.
Oh, Jack, I will. Oh, this is so kind of you, so generous of you. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve anything. I'm a careless scoundrel. I should be horsed with.
Basil!
Oh, why? Why did I do it?
Basil, calm yourself. Just come over and help me fix it.
For heaven's sake, Jack, will you wait till I finish my scene?
You've seen? You mean you're just acting now?
Certainly. You're not the only one who hates Paul Lucas.
Basil, you too?
Yes, pal.
Well, what do you know? Come here, chum. I want to talk to you. Imagine giving Lucas the Academy Award for what? Well, to Betty Davis. You said it.
Particular people congregate, you see the smart red Pell-Mell package. Day after day, the demand for this smart, distinctive, better-tasting cigarette is growing. Yes, it's easy to tell the swings to Pell-Mell. And no wonder. The moment you take a Pell-Mell out of the package, you see why Pell-Mell means a smoother, cooler, better-tasting smoke. Instantly, you see Pell-Mell's greater length. That's modern design. Now, light up a Pell-Mell. See what happens. Pell-Mell's modern design travels the smoke further, filters it naturally over a 20% longer route of Pell-Mell's traditionally fine tobaccos. Heat and spice are diminished. Yes, modern design is a difference you can see. Modern design means a difference you can taste. Modern design means Pell-Mell is longer. Modern design means Pell-Mell's smoke cooler. That's why Pell-Mell rings the bell for you in smoothness, coolness, and better taste. So swing into line with modern design. The next time you buy cigarettes, ask for Pell-Mell in the smart red package. Ring the bell for Pell-Mell. Pell-Mell.
Good night, everybody.